Hello, hello, hello. Good morning if you're in the U.S. Good afternoon if you're in Europe, and I guess good evening. I don't know where all you are, but wherever you are, good that. Hello and welcome to the finals, World Finals, Day 1 of the Bren Chong, that Cup 3. It's going to be a great one today. The top 3 players from each of our regions, the top 3 from EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa, the top 3 from the APAC region, Asia on down, the top 3 from the North America, Central America region, of course, the top 3 from LATAM. This is going to be a fire event. 3 days of action. Day 1 right here on my channel with me, Rich Slayton. Days 2 and 3 with Eric Benamu, EB7, on his channel on Twitch. But you can be watching here right now on both Twitch and on YouTube, guys. So whether you're watching on YouTube coming from inside of the Clash Royale app, or you are right here on Twitch, either one, welcome, hello, glad to have you here. Today is going to be a great one. Big names, some of the biggest names, and some major showdowns should happen today. We have the current #1 in all of the world in CRL and consensus #1 player in the game right now in Mugi. Oh, let's go see this little intro I didn't know we had. Here we go. Oh, well, I guess I'm supposed to talk over this intro. I thought there'd be music, but look at that. That's the Bren Chong Cup trophy. Oh, I guess they didn't tell me they were showing a trophy. We have Mohamed Light in here today. We have defending CRL world champion Ruben in the mix today. We have one of the most talented players out of Japan in Mugi here today. We have such a wonderful mix of top-tier players. Do you like snipers? Guess what? Anaban made it. You're from the US of A. If you're in my chat, probably a good chance that you are. Well, Bag, representing the Stars and Stripes at the Bren Chong Cup 3 World Finals. 3 players from Argentina, right? Is it Argentina all in for LATAM as well? It's going to be crazy and a whole lot of fun today. I'm really, really excited. We're going to have the full bracket up here in a minute. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, the bracket is in the description below. I'll link the bracket in chat here at some point, but the bracket's in the description below. If you're asking, I see someone asking, can I say the name of people who are definitely qualified for Worlds in CRL? No, I can't. I don't know who's definitely qualified for sure. I haven't done the math on that one. Someone certainly has, and we'll get that probably as we go to CRL, but this ain't CRL. This is the Bren Chong Cup 3, and here's our bracket. We're going to do the first 8 matches today, so we're going to do 2 rounds of the winner's bracket. Hajime versus Lauta, winner of that will face Mo Light, good luck to them. Anaban versus trainer Adnan up against KK, the winner will go through there against the top-tier Japanese pro. Bansito will go up against Mugi. Mugi might have a chance to take out 2 countrymen back-to-back, but we'll see if one of them can get a big-time win for their nation. And then, if you're an American fan, if you're here for Bag, cross your fingers, he's got Ruben and then Imedwin. 2 really, really difficult back-to-back matchups to kick off his campaign here in the Bren Chong Cup 3 World Finals. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, though, and I'm very, very excited to have everyone here. Someone asking, Rich, why are there 3 days? I don't know, so that none of the so we don't have an 8-hour broadcast, basically, I think is what it is. Because either it's going to be like really, 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 really long streams, or it was going to be 3 smaller streams. So here we go. It's 3 smaller streams, including today, then tomorrow, and then Sunday. Come down to the raceway on Sunday. But these are going to be some great matchups. Now, the story so far has to be the story of Mohamed Light, who went undefeated in the previous stage, including twice beating Ruben, both in the winner's bracket finals and in the grand finals. Mohamed Light, unbelievable so far in this event, and he and his analyst Julesy have been really celebrating what they've been able to do here as far as matchups in this event. The interesting question here is going to be, I think the big questions here are, of course, how does Anaban continue to fare in this format? He did very well, of course, in the regional stage. Does he continue that success here at the World Final stage? What's Ruben's form at, right? We know Ruben's great. We know Ruben was the #1 player of 2020. There was no real question about that. Is he at the same level here in 2021, or has Mo Light truly eclipsed him? Do we get an answer to that one? So far, the answer feels like it is Mo Light rather than Ruben, but we'll see. Can Bag finally get that big moment? Bag's got a big following, a lot of following here in the chat as well. Can he get that big signature moment, that big signature win that he really needs to cement his legacy? All that and more this weekend right here, and of course tomorrow and Sunday with Eric Benamou. Let's look at the chat here for a moment. Shahajpreet Singh says, M. Light, it's going to be very possible. Jayanth says, Mugi should definitely win. Well, definitely two guys who have a lot of opportunity. And Arjun here saying support for both Mohamed Light and Mugi. So, yeah, that two guys who are pretty popular. It's dual mode, asks Kurai, and yes, it is dual mode. What does that mean? That means that you cannot repeat cards within the best of 3. You play Fireball in game number 1, no Fireball in game 2, no Fireball in game 3. That's it. So we are going to be doing dual mode the entire way through, which is the competitive standard for Clash Royale now. Maro saying it's 3 days so we can play disc golf in between. Yeah, maybe. I got a couple holes in the other day. It was very fun. When is there going to be a Rich Slayton Cup, says Hy-Vee. When someone else wants to put the money up for that one. Here we go. Match number 1 on the day. Let's get it. Mugi versus Bansito. And why is that? Oh, they don't have game audio. Let me go ahead and message the production company to make sure that they go. So that's not on me, guys. That's from the production side. I'm messaging them right now to make sure they do give us game audio. But we'll get it as soon as we can. Right now, let's just stick with what we got, and that's Mugi versus Bansito. And Bansito looking like he's running Loon, Mugi running MK Ram Rider. Oh, maybe it's just Minor Mortar. We'll see if he does. Probably just be Minor Mortar. Interesting choice here from Bansito. And Ram Rider does not connect. It's one of the 3 times in history that a Ram Rider has not connected. And they are working on the gameplay audio right now, folks. So as soon as they have it, we'll hear it. But for now, we just got to go ahead and, man, we should have Lemonade in here doing the game sounds. He's so good at it. Red Lotus, this is not a Supercell stream. So, yeah, this is from a separate production company. But we will hopefully get the sound sorted out here in just a little bit. Inferno Dragon crossing the bridge. Musketeer will be just about enough. Oh, it's Framsito, not Bansito. Oh, yeah, that is Fram. Why did they have the names wrong? Well, you know, when you're Amcetos, that's just I'll also go ahead and let them know in the production as well that they got the wrong name there. It's the An or Amcetos. It's very difficult to keep track, right? Mortar down here no, it is Bansito. It even says but it's Framsito's picture. So they're saying the program mixed up the pictures. All right, so we'll get that sorted out fairly soon here. Right now, Mega Knight in deep, but the Miner doing a good job controlling high. Solid defense here by Bansito so far. And yeah, I also wish there was sound because these dead moments are, woof. But they'll get it sorted out here very, very soon. Mega Knight up high, log to push back. And balance change is announced. And who's looking for what it's going to be like with Poison at 15% slow? That's really interesting to see what was at one point a really OP point of Poison being brought back now. So very curious to see what Poison will be like now that that's going to be part of the Poison mechanic. Might make Poison more popular. Of course, it has been getting a bit of a resurgence here in dual mode. I don't know how much. I mean, it's definitely going to affect the ladder meta. The question is, will it affect what kind of crazy impact might it have on the dual mode meta? I think it's going to really impact dual mode. So they say the game sound will be fixed for game 2. So they have to reload some stuff here and get the game sounds all fixed. So for now, it's just me. I wish I had. I don't even have my music on here. Let me see if I can add the music in for now. That way we aren't just sitting here with nothing. Here, I'll add some music on in the background. There you go. Now at least we have some. Now at least we have some music while we go ahead and enjoy ourselves here. Valk cycles to the back, and pressure now in the opposite lane with both the Royal Ghost and the Ram Rider. Miner to pick up. Ice Spirit and Skelly's working on the Ram Rider. So far, defense from Bansito, and there you go. His picture has been updated. In case you were curious what he looked like, and that was really causing a lot of personal emotional problems. Bansito now the guy at the bottom right-hand side. Mugi's just playing the same thing a few times here. And so far, Bansito has been doing a good job. Try to change lanes, did the Japanese pro, but it didn't pay off. And now that mortar continuing to harass. The defensive miters from Bansito so far have been very good, and the use of both of those, the defensive miter and Valk, collectively to control the Mega Knight and keep it from really getting in too deep. And that's a good snowball here, but doesn't quite do... Oh, and that was almost a King Tower activation. Mugi almost activated King Tower against himself with pushing that back into King range for the Mega Knight. Lost Guy 95 talking about Snowball will be more meta. I'm looking forward to that when you see Snowball here in the hand of Mugi with this Ram Rider deck. I used to run Snowball quite a bit before the nerf, and it'll be nice to see it have a little bit more power this time. I wonder if that's going to be enough to fully counter Princess as it used to. Damage on the left-hand side. Oh, my word. Look at the damage on the left-hand lane. Poison in. Snowball trying to do more. And that's going to be just barely enough for Bansito to go ahead and take the win here in game number 1. GG, well played. And now I'm going to go ahead and remove that music here. And now we'll go back to my feed where I have the music going. And they're going to go ahead and work on the sound here for a moment. Let's see. Let's look at the chat here for a moment while we're waiting for them to get the sound sorted out. Man, really good game there for Bansito. Let's see. Hey, Rich, where's your frosted mini wheat? Says Janth. Well, I had waffles for breakfast this morning, so no issues there. Let's see. Arjun predicting that it's going to be Mugi, Light, and Anaban as 1, 2, 3. Very interesting. Monty reminding us that Poison had slow attack as well, which won't be brought back. That's actually a good middle ground there, I think. Very, very interesting, though, that balance change. Maybe we'll talk some more about the balance changes at some point. When do you eat burritos on stream again? Sometime soon. I found, for those of you who've been followers of the stream for a long time, I found the gold leaf, the edible gold leaf. There it is. So the golden burrito is coming. It might be in our next event, which will be announced very soon. SA7 saying the shade's looking cool at Rich Slayton. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. They're getting the sound fixed right now. So we'll see how long it takes them to get that sorted out, and we'll be back into the mix one more time. Cesar Box saying I use Snowball in my RG deck in War Duel mode. Snowball is good. It just really doesn't have a place in the meta right now. So that extra knockback is going to be huge. It's interesting because they are nerfing Fire Spirit so it no longer wipes out a Goblin Barrel on its own, which is going to be a good moment for bait. But Snowball's now going to fully counter Fire Spirit, so that does give one more fully counter Goblin Barrel if you time it right. So that's going to be one more big thing against bait. And then also, I haven't tested it yet, but does Snowball allow you to knock the Princess across the bridge into that Princess Tower range? Not entirely sure. Mance Raider saying, oh, that was not the one. Oh, well, no matter, but Mugi's the most genius player of Clash Royale. Well, I didn't mean to click that one, but that's also a good comment there. Let's keep going back. Even if they were, let's see, looking at some of these. What shades are these? These are called the Thank You for Sharing. Thank You for Sharing is what these ones are called. So there you go. The good thing about Poison is that it can be used to defend now, too. Right now, you can't really defend with it. And that's actually interesting. That is a very good point here. That Sazal Bulks makes, is that Poison with the slow will make defending at the bridge much, much stronger. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. Oh, yeah, by the way, guys, new personal best hit just yesterday. My co-caster from CRL, Andrew Guy, broke 6.6 yesterday. Very excited for him. And oh, they just lost their signal for a second. And I put another new personal best. Thank you, Skill Drill. 64.96. Let's go. 64.96. Let go. Boom. 64.96. So trying to push for 6.6 this season. We'll see if it happens. But yes, again, thank you. If you ever needed evidence that Goblin Drill needs a nerf, it's that I might make 6.6 this season. If there was ever evidence that Goblin Drill was too strong, it's that it's made me, it's helped me hit new PBs. So there is a nerf coming in for the Goblin Drill soon, and maybe it's because they saw I was doing so well this season. I think that's probably what it has to be. No Bots Gaming saying, will Poison replace Fireball next season? No clue, but I think that Poison will make a big comeback, Especially, I think that one of the big decks that's going to be impacted is P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam, right? Because Fireball has been a big part of P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam for two reasons. One, Poison's been kind of weak relatively, and two, the meta has demanded Fireball. Well, with a slight nerf to Mother Witch, which may reduce Mother Witch play, the buff to Pigs is the only interesting one, because Pigs being buffed does make it feel like you want more Fireball. I need to go look at the full list of the balance changes again. But I think the slow might make it so P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam moves back towards Poison a bit more and a little bit less towards Fireball. But we'll see. Poison stops Balloon now. Like, one-on-one Poison stops Balloon? There's no way. Really? That's what Wizard of Oz is saying, which, by the way, great name. Poison stops Balloon now. I've not seen that test yet. But if that's the case, that is an insane change for Poison to stop Balloon all on its own. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2. I believe we'll have game sound now. Let's go ahead and find out. And there we go. Let's do it. We do have game sound. They should buff Bomb Tower, says C. Davis. They did. They added 5 more seconds to Bomb Tower's life. Bomb Tower now lasts 30 seconds rather than 25. So there you go. Yassine Arafat saying, what about Minor Poison? Hey, shout out B-Rad. Minor Poison could be back with that slow. Really take advantage of alternating minor placements. That's going to be very interesting. Cannon Cart in for Mugi, and it just barely dies out of range. Is there a Spanish channel? Yes, Yosef, go ahead, and I think it's actually in the show notes below for Espanol. Royal Giant down on the left-hand side. Mortar Cannon Cart with that DPS from the Musketeer should be enough to really shred those RGs, but not when you're low on Elixir. And that's a ton of damage here. Bansito, both with the damage and Elixir lead as we go past the first 80 seconds of gameplay. Piggy's in. Ewiz Barb Barrel trying to respond. No building, no problem so far for Bansito, although does give up a lot of damage there. Mugi now within 400 HP. Mugi does cycle a bit faster, I think, here. I'm trying to look at the fastest way to get around, but actually fairly even on both sides. This is a double elimination tournament, to answer Sam Greenberg's question. It's Alex Down saying Bomb Tower Hunter making a comeback. Possibly. Hunter did get a buff. It's going to be very curious to see how this new meta shakes out. Fireball takes care of the Mother Witch. 1568 on the right-hand side. So Mugi clawing his way back in. Now down just 200 HP. Bansito does have match point here. Pigs in on the right-hand side. We have not seen a big spell out of Bansito yet, which makes me assume that it's Lightning rather than Fireball. It's a nice E-Wiz high. RG's not going to get a shot, though. And does Mugi protect the Musketeer here? He does not. Goes Mortar high in the middle. Muskie gets off the board. Cannon Cart going to go away from the Royal Giant. Not what Mugi needed here. And now RG is going to get one, I think. And it does. Fireball in. Mother Witch taken care of. But still, it's Bansito putting the pressure on and getting the lead here. Extended as that pig goes to town. A little sweet dinner on the left-hand side. 10:02 remaining on Mugi's left-hand tower. It is the lead in both lanes right now for Bansito. And there comes the Lightning. Putting that Cannon Cart way in enemy territory and forcing out a response against the Royal Ghost. That was a smart Lightning there here in sudden death overtime. RG high. Mortar will pull. Muskie went really far away here. Mugi in a lot of trouble right now. Mugi in a heap of trouble right now. RG will not get a shot here. 694 on that left-hand side. Cannon Cart now going to pressure in the right-hand lane. Knight taken care of by the Barb Barrel. Split Pigs for Mugi. 90 seconds left as the Pigs start going for a snag on the left side and the right-hand side. And that Fireball to clear off, and that's going to give Mugi the lead by 1 HP in the left-hand lane. Bansito has to be careful here and not overcommit. Mortar high. And I believe that we're going to see some more DPS here on this RG because he cannot afford to give up shots. He's going to give up 2 shots here, and that's the GG. Who put that one down? Who went to Vegas and bet that way? Bansito 2-0s Mugi. Bansito 2-0s Mugi brutally. And that is a GG. Well played. Mugi down but not out. He will be in the elimination bracket. But that's certainly not the winner's bracket. Huge, huge upset in game number 1. Well played for Bansito. Oh, and I thought we were going... Oh, here, so we're going to go to the replay. Interesting. Oh, the analysis table. I wish I spoke Spanish and knew what IMJP was saying here. But IMJP is going to break down some of these moments here. And this is fun to see some replay action. Man, I really wish I knew I could read lips and spoke Spanish. Both of those two things would be really helpful at this moment. JP, not with the golden hair, though. JP's gone silver hair. Really big change here. I'm actually completely thrown off. Changes my entire thought of everything. And you see the cannon cart getting down on the right-hand side. This is early on in the match. This is where the first big chunk of damage comes in. And you see the Mother Witch taking advantage of the spears on that left-hand side really, really early. So you look at the fireball now in Mugi's hand. Mugi doesn't play anything. He kind of freezes here for a moment and tries to let the Musketeer go. Goes mortar high. And while the mortar does connect, that is up, not even up, oh, it's actually does put him up about 3 elixir as you see the Fisherman behind, and RG is able to get a bunch of early shots. So significant elixir advantage as Mugi had to respond to the Mother Witch. So a lot of things happen in case you can't tell here. So look at the elixir difference. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out where we are in the game. So 694 on that left-hand side. There was the really nice lightning that stuck that cannon cart in the back. And look right here, just not enough to hang on, especially with that Royal Ghost on the right-hand side. Going through that relatively quickly, but there you have it. The silver-haired silver boy from Barcelona, Spain. Yeah, not as catchy. Oh, they're showing us the there's the trophy a bit more. These beauty shots of the beautiful Bren Chong Cup 3 trophy. Oh, and let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket as it currently stands, because we do have our first person moving on, Bansito and Framsito. Sito versus Sito. Oh, man, that's going to be a fun one. Well, at the moment, well played by both of those guys. Mugi, not out, by the way, again. If you are a big fan of Mugi, don't worry about it. He's still in the tournament, still has his big chance. Yates saying, I appreciate the quality content. Thank you very much. Glad you're enjoying yourself. Doesn't the poison buff only affect movement speed and not attack speed? Yeah, that's gonna be huge. But I think the biggest impact for that could be, do we see the return of minor poison? I'm curious what Brad thinks about that. B-Rad might have a strong opinion. Doesn't that match up for Mortar Pigs? Says Ragwar. I actually don't know who that matchup goes for. I mean, you think Mortar... the hard part there in that matchup is Mortar typically would have the matchup against RG, in my opinion, but it's with no NATO, no log. You're running delivery instead. It makes it a little bit harder to control the RG shots, right? So there's some of the reason why I think maybe you saw Mugi struggling there. And I don't think he cycled that much faster. Some people talking about, I know because of the lightning, says Movo. Yeah, I think the lightning certainly makes it a challenge, but I think more it's that he didn't have the ability to control the RG when it would get those shots to knock back or reset it with NATO or log. And then so now you're just trying to DPS it down when you have that mortar. There also might have been some cycle issues there for Mugi as well, but it doesn't cycle that fast. Mike saying Mohamed Light or Mugi, what do you think? Anybody who's not picking Mohamed Light right now, I think is wrong. I think that's empirically true, in my opinion, and I think, why do you say my opinion empirically true? It seems to be pretty clear that Mugi is the best player of 2021. It seems to be pretty clear he's the best player right now. Now, there is one player in the world who might have a good claim to unseat him on that, and if Lucas finishes out the year the way he has been so far this summer, Lucas could make a run at being the number one player of 2021. But Mo Light right now is the best player of 2021, and it's really his title to hold on to. And I don't even think he has to win the World Finals in CRL to prove that, actually. that would certainly be a nice feather in his cap. But I don't think winning. I think that it really just depends on what September, October, November holds. December obviously is going to be a big factor in that one. But if Mugi, like if someone else wins the World Finals in December, I don't think that necessarily means that Mugi isn't the best player of 2021, right? So here we go. Match number 2, Hajime versus Lauta. Light is not out. This is a double elimination bracket, so don't worry. Light is still in. We'll be seeing more of him tomorrow. And Yates coming in with the Tier 1 sub on Twitch. Thank you very much, Yates, for your support. I really do appreciate that. Does the Furnace also getting nerfed? Asked Danny1460. Well, an inadvertent nerf in that nerfing the damage range of the Fire Spirit also nerfs the Furnace a little bit. So not a huge nerf, but a small nerf for the Furnace. I keep saying Mugi instead of Light. Do I? Oh, well, that's early. And, oh no, Hajime with a fat-fingered NATO, right? There was nothing in that NATO. Am I crazy? Oh, Hajime. Is it really late in Japan right now? What time is it in Japan? Mugi and Hajime both kind of playing off sorts a little bit. Valk low, Tesla high. Graveyard making a comeback. Will Poison also help Graveyard as well? And oh boy, that's a lot of damage in. Tesla going to try to control this Inferno Dragon, but damage already done. Noobs 2021 asking opinions on the Pigs buff. As I think Pigs are actually kind of strong, especially in dual mode anyway. We'll see if they continue, if that makes it even worse. Pigs buff might be, if there is one misstep in this balance changes, Pigs buff could prove to be it, but we have some time. It's 12:38 in Japan, so it's after midnight in Japan, so maybe some of these players are a little bit tired. Ooh, a cheeky NATO out of Hajime to get back in it. I always wonder about that move early in the game. He has to feel like he has a defensive capability to hold on this one. This, by the way, those of you asking what my deck is, this is what I'm running this season, is this exact deck. And I don't use that move often, especially not early in the game. But Hajime feeling like he can recover. And that is one thing about this deck that is really, really strong, is because this deck cycles so quickly, you can get there's a lot of ways to get good defensive value and recovery. So you see Hajime going for the really aggressive drill NATO play, and it pays off. NATO's here, but not for the lineup, but the lineup does go on the Inferno Dragon anyway, and just like that, Hajime takes the tower. Has to defend now for 20 seconds. Can he hold? Tesla down, Valk in. Can he stop a Graveyard for 15 seconds? Valkyrie trying to work on defense. Skeletons to help. The Fireball going to come in, try to make enough room here. Going to need the arrows too, I believe. One skeleton, can it hit? Arrows trying. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Hajime with what a comeback here. Skill drill for the win. And guys, that right there is why I had a new personal best this season. Is because of that. It's because of how powerful that deck is to recover, even from ridiculous mistakes. Oh, the number of bad mistakes I've made and then gone, oh, well, but I can really make some good recovery here with that exact deck. Good job, Hajime. Wow, ooh, boy. What a NATO. Yeah, I would have said, like, people talking about that NATO there against the Valk, I kind of wait to do that until a little bit later in the game. But again, because that deck can do so many positive elixir trades on defense, you can do some stuff that maybe you wouldn't do as early in the game as you would in other situations, especially as Danny is saying here in double elixir. I usually whip it for triple, but there you go. Let's see. Greetings from Costa Rica, says Ciervo. Match number 1 going, or game number 1 going to Hajime. Let's see. Drill OP, says SA7 Gaming. Let's see. Pig buff because Bomb Tower OP now. Oh yeah, well, I don't know if Bomb Tower is going to be OP because the Death Bomb still isn't so strong. So Bomb Tower is going to last 5 more seconds, but one of the things that made Bomb Tower really oppressive beforehand was, A, it was a big swarm meta, so you want a Bomb Tower, but then B, Bomb Tower's Death Bomb was so huge, right? NATO Bomb Tower together on defense were absolutely massive. So now we get a longer life for the Bomb Tower, but we're not getting that big Death Bomb back. I think this will be a good balance for the Bomb Tower. But we'll see. We'll see what it's like. Love those sunglasses, says the only Sir Denny. Hey, Gooders. Gooder.com/RichSlate. Here, you know what? I'll go ahead and throw you guys my stream deck is once again not being OP. I actually tried to troubleshoot some stuff I'm in the middle of troubleshooting with the Elgato people to try to figure out how to fix my Stream Deck so I could just hit buttons and throw stuff in chat. But so far, not getting it done, Stream Deck. Boo, Stream Deck. I love it as a piece of technology, but so far, it is not doing its best. Let's go ahead and take a look at some more of the chat. Do you like Oakleys that cops wear? I don't like Oakleys. This isn't 1996, and I'm not playing tennis. So there you go. I'm all gooder all the time, folks. That's how my life works. Eunice asking how you doing. How you doing, Eunice? Good to see you here in the chat. How do I enter any official Clash Royale esports tourney? Reesh, well, here's two simple ways. Number one, CRL. Every month, the top 1,000 on ladder qualify for CRL. So there you go. Do I have red hair now? No, it's the lighting's weird. So I have blue and purple lights up and another light up top, but it is making my hair look very reddish today. Maybe it's also because my hair's wet. But no, I have blonde hair. Just like there's some undertone in my hair, maybe a little red, but like if I'm outside, no one ever says I'm red-haired. But for some reason, a lot of indoor lights make my hair look red. Here we go. Ooh, Lauta on camera now. Background looking stacked, says Ustav. Thank you very much. There are also tournaments like this one, which happen regularly. Also do have open qualifiers. Continue answering that question about how you participate. Here we go. It's going to be drill for Lauta, the bridge spam variant. Has to control this bandit, does Hajime. Oh, and we have names and ages here. Koto Watanabe, 18 years old. And Lauta is Lautaro. Oh, okay. Always good to know. So tournaments like this one, of which there's another one coming up in the month of September, often have open qualifiers, which you can find out about by following me on Twitter and Revel Amar, who's the tournament organizer. And there's also Esports Royale typically posts them as well, the Clash Royale Twitter account. You can find ways to be an open qualifier. A lot of these players did get in through open qualifying. These tournaments are always a mixture of invited pros and open spots, so go ahead and figure it out. How can I write a pinned reply to anyone? When I click on your comment. There you go. So we'll see how long it takes Hajime to pop the RG. So far, just playing mostly defense here against the drill. I'm kind of surprised cycling Dark Prince up here that early when you know you're playing against drill and it's not going to be in cycle. You can't get back to it again. Going to choose to defend here with the Mega Minion. Oh, Mega Minion plus Fisherman. Okay, so here, I thought he was going to go, oh, he goes with the Mother Witch as well. Okay, so I thought he was going to go with the RG in front of this. Still might. There we go. Royal Giant down. But that Firecracker going to shred the support here. And this should be a pretty solid defense. We'll give up, I think, just one shot, and one shot does come in. We're going to go to the back this time, I think. No, goes to the front, trying to pick up the Fire Spirit. 968 to 1664. Fireball wipes out the Firecracker. Tesla Drill creates a pretty nasty defensive combo, and Hajime sets up Royal Giant way in the back this time. Trying to break past the Tesla Drill combination can be really, really difficult. But again, notice no knockback or control here. Not running log with this. So if there is a chance in this one, with Firecracker, we should see allowed to go back to a Firecracker fairly soon here after the Tesla. Because he wants to get rid of everything from behind. And the RG can't get through, but there should be another RG pretty soon here. I think he drops high to control the Royal Ghost. No, goes with Dark Prince instead. Now comes the Fireball to wipe out the Firecracker. 13-20 with 90 seconds left. So Hajime trying to go for the stacked RGs as we go into triple. That's his goal here, to break through the Tesla. Is Royal Giant 1, Royal Giant 2. Does just barely pick up that Bandit. Mother Witch going to die to the poison. Does not want that Firecracker involved at all right now. Mother Witch not going to get on the Tesla. Doesn't matter. Second Royal Giant should come down here, though. Doesn't quite have the elixir for it. 45 seconds left, and here you go. Just trying to get it behind anything. And that Tesla should drop. So RG going to get 2 shots or just one? Just 1 shot here. 894. Mother Witch down. Now just spamming the bridge is Hajime. Trying to find a way through. Fireball. And the cycle is in. Hajime doing everything he can to put pressure on and also not let any of this turn into a drill the opposite direction. Tesla does get down just in time. Mother Witch Pine trying to turn those skellies into pigs. Can he get a little bit more damage on here? Mega Minion working on the Royal Ghost up high. Fireball in. Not going to be enough, though. Can these piggies touch? No, they're not going to touch at all. Fishboy trying to break on through. Not going to do it. Fireball wouldn't be enough either. That's a GG. That's a well played. We're going to game number 3. Guyver with the big call there. Spam, spam, spam. Had to be. Had to be the spam, spam, spam there. GG, well played. B-Man Game saying, dang. Dang indeed. Lauta got all the matchups on lockdown saying Madi, yeah. Yeah, that was a great defense, but yes, definitely the matchup for Lauta in that one. And you saw just how difficult it was for Hajime to even think about trying to break past that Tesla, right? Just didn't have a great way to get past it. Didn't want to, and you saw him never fireball the Tesla, always fireballing the Firecracker, because that Firecracker was just ruining all the support behind the Royal Giant. So, unfortunately for Hajime, kind of like a bad rock and a hard place situation, right? You can't break past the Tesla, can't really find a way. Made it pretty close overall, but still trying to break on through there. So difficult with that Fireball having to make a decision between the Firecracker and the Tesla. So very, very nice choice there for Lauta in that matchup. Eunice saying, this is my first time on your channel, loving it already. Oh, thank you very much. And by the way, those of you who are watching on Twitch, I know I have sub-only chat on. It's because we're being hosted inside the Clash Royale app. I'm not trying to trick you into subbing to me. If you want to chat, you have to sub just to keep it. Kind of keeps the chat a little bit less toxic and crazy. If you want to sub the chat and then want to unsub after, feel free. I'm not insulted by it, but it's just it's a nice little like low barrier to entry to keep the chat from being insane, which it often is when we have these events hosted inside of the Clash Royale app. But I appreciate you guys being here either way and hope you're really enjoying the action. We've got 6 more matches on the day. That was Hajime and Lauta. Coming up next will be Anaban and Trainer Adnan, so that's going to be a whole lot of fun. Latak in the chat right now. Sup, Rich, rooting for my man Bag as always. I know a lot of people are excited for Bag today. We'll see how they feel, how he fares in a very, very difficult matchup against Ruben. Big moment. Madi saying followers only. Well, no, Madi, I'm talking about the YouTube chat there. Twitch chat's doing its thing because Twitch chat isn't hosted. But YouTube chat, I just put a little barrier to entry just to keep it from being totally crazy. So there you go. Hi, Rich. Can you say hi to me? Says GT Joe. No, I can't say hi to you, GT Joe. I cannot. Let's see. Tropic Jaws saying, yo, what's up? I just came from Clash, showing some gameplay. Yes, we have 6 more best of 3 matches, Tropic Jaws. We're just in between 2 matches right now. We just finished Hajime and Lauta. We're getting ready for Anaban, one of the top ladder and sniper players of all time, up against Trainer Adnan. So we will have that here in just a moment. And oh, never mind. I forgot. It's game 3 of Hajime and Lauta. Let's go. And Hajime just golem first plays. And you see Lauta go, ugh. I don't know if Lauta, I didn't see his face clearly enough if that was a happy or annoyed moment there. The flying machine does stay out of Princess Tower range, so the small victories here for Lauta. Golem first play for Hajime, and a big nerf incoming or big rework for Night Witch. She will no longer spawn bats on death after this. So let's see what he has for the clone here. Not enough. GG. Wow. Well, oh, the Mother Witch couldn't get to it in time, and Lauta's just shaking his head. What can you do there? What can you do? What can you do when your opponent has his full Golem clone push in first hand? And Tony with the good point here in Twitch. He played Arrow and Poison, which means he went for the clone. Easy peasy. Yeah, but NATO, right? And Lauta, you can see Lauta just shaking his head. Lauta, who looks kind of like Matt Smith of what's the Doctor Who fame. I just noticed that right now. I've never seen Lauta's face before. Definitely looks like Matt Smith. So let's get some Fs in the chat for Lauta. Golem first play is viable in Comp 2, says Dawood. It's, well, in dual mode, you look at this, right? And this was a good point someone else made earlier. In dual mode, by game number 3, you have so much information, right? So he knows there's no arrows, knows there's no poison, 2 things that strongly counter Golem clone. Right? So he was making a call based off of what he thought would happen in the matchup. If there are any mods on Twitch, go ahead and let's do predictions in our next game. I can't spend time on it myself. I don't know if there are any mods on Twitch. And just can't control the... There you go. This time actually able to stop it to a certain degree, but still so much damage in. GG well be. It's me here in the Twitch chat saying Golem should be like where it can't be in your first hand. I kind of feel that it might. I don't know. I don't think it would. I don't think that would kill Golem. Maybe it would. But F's in the chat for Lauta here. I think 100 people left the YouTube stream after seeing Golem clone for Golem first play, which is hilarious. And there goes the clone on defense. 2 Mother Witches won't be enough. That's a GG. That's a well played. Hajime. It's almost 1 a.m. for Hajime, so I guess you can slightly let it go. And Lauta just like, what do I do there? What do I do there? So Lauta will be in the lower bracket, the elimination bracket. He's not out entirely, but is down. Hajime moves on in the upper bracket. We will see him again today. Muhammad Tayyab saying, hello, Mr. Slayton. Love from Pakistan. Love to Pakistan as well. Wherever you're watching, I hope you're enjoying yourselves. I know that we have a great international audience, people all over the world watching together. And this is the... Oh, now we have Bale in the analysis table for this chat. And I guess Bale is breaking down our... I think this was game number 2 here, where you see... No, this is game number 1. Where you see the Magic Archer lineup. And I don't think there's any NATO play here. I think it just goes ahead and lets that die, which is really, really smart. Tesla sets up, gets on the Inferno Dragon instead of the Valk, which was actually a really, really important moment there. And again, this is something that's nice about this deck. I play this deck every day. And despite giving up a ton of damage early on and being behind on Elixir, look at that. Behind by so much here. The recovery ability of this deck is massive. And here we go, getting into the final minute 20. I'm not trying to remember exactly what happened in this moment. Valk picks up the drill. Oh, this was the NATO play. There you go. NATO play, and that gets quite a lot here. And it's because the Valk was able to distract up high as well. And that puts it really close, under 100 HP. Like about 80 HP between the two. And so Lauta goes ahead and fireballs doesn't get the Valk, just gets the Magic Archer, which puts him way behind on Elixir here. And that means back to another Magic Archer so quickly. And the NATO lineup here. I don't know if Hajime knew. If Hajime knew that was going to line up the Inferno Dragon there, that's a next-level play. I mean, pulled stuff to the Valk there, obviously, but being able to line up the Inferno Dragon there, if that was intentional, because you notice that the Inferno Dragon didn't pull to the center of the NATO. It pulled to the 3/4 mark or the 2/3 mark. So if that was intentional on how that lined up there, that's next-level understanding of NATO Magic Archer, because... that's not just, hey, let's put it in the middle and line everything up. That's, I know when the NATO will die and how it will pull that way. Brilliant. Brilliant. Nice work there for Hajime. And here we go, taking a look at the bracket. It will be Hajime versus Light as in our second round of the winner's bracket. Of course, that match will happen today. We've gotten through 2 of our matches of 6 so far. So we will still be seeing Anaban versus Trainer Adnan and Ruben versus Bag. And then we'll see the Light versus Hajime matchup, KK versus whoever faces him, Framsito versus Bansito, the Sito match, and then Imedwin versus the winner of Ruben and Bag. So We'll be seeing all of those today. And I don't know if they're going to show us a lower bracket. No, they're not. So there you go. Get a quick look at the other guys. Tropic Jaws asking, has anyone played E-Giant so far? I don't believe we've seen E-Giant yet today, but we'll see. Probably should make it somewhere. Kaiser Soze saying he made a good call on the matchup, but that's not why Golem first play worked. It's because they won't let us pick starting hands. Yeah, starting hands, you know what's interesting? Starting hand picking is in the game, but it's only in friendly modes, and you can do it, though. Just people don't usually use it. Do I know when Mo is playing? Sometime soon. We have at least 2 more matches before Mo plays, I believe. Do I think Royal Recruit's Fireball Bait will make a comeback due to possibly more poison and pig buff? Royal Recruit's Fireball Bait has been in the meta. So, I mean, again, I only really watch the competitive meta, but in the competitive meta, Royal Recruit's Fireball Bait with pigs has been very meta in duel mode. So, I don't know if that will translate to ladder now. It might. But, yeah, it gets played often in duel mode. Asking, do I think Expo will still be playable after Tesla nerf? How do I answer this diplomatically? I hope not. I used to be an Expo player. I think that Tesla not lasting. I think that Expo's a really hard deck to balance because it's either really annoyingly overpowered or really underpowered, right? I think that the Expo Tesla spam, which so many times people starting handy with Expo Tesla, I think that's really obnoxious, and a lot of that is because of Tesla, not because of Expo. I think the Tesla nerf is good for the game overall right now. We'll see where that goes in time. But Expo's a hard card to balance. And when I was an Expo player, I talked about this with the dev team in the past. And just like, how do you make that not oppressive and fun to play against? It's such a weird riddle to solve. And so many things have happened around Expo to try to figure that out. Expo has been rebalanced itself. It's just a really hard question to answer. The other thing is that Expo's really popular amongst free-to-play players. So some people are like, hey, vault Expo. Well, Clash Royale doesn't vault cards. They've just never really done that. So, and especially a deck that's so popular for free-to-play players, it's a really, really hard place to go. FX Yen just subscribed a Tier 1 sub over on Twitch. Thank you very much, dude. Happy to have you. I hope your streams have been going well. I think I hosted you the other day. Happy to have you here in the stream, and thank you very much for the sub, man. Much respect. Arjun Karel saying, I think E-Giant deserves a greater nerf. We'll see. When it comes to balance changes, FX Yen coming in with a bunch of 5 Tier 1 subs on Twitch. Thank you so much, dude. That's absolutely huge. That's absolutely huge. Not gonna leave out the community. Thank you, dude. Guys, if you haven't yet, he's in the chat. He's in the chat right now. Go ahead and follow Yen on Twitch. He also streams a whole bunch, and yeah, he's having a lot of fun over on his side. So go ahead and follow him as well. Maybe the best. People ask me to ask Supercell things all the time. This is probably the most hilarious one. You know what? This one I will ask this one, Muhammad. Please ask Supercell to add a Samurai Goblin. Why? Because it'd be awesome. You know what? That's a request I can get on board with. Samurai Goblin. Let's go. Here we go. Oh, I guess we're going to our next winners bracket matchup. Interesting. So we are this is a round 2 matchup in the winners bracket between Bansito and Framsito. The Sito matchup. Very interesting that they decided to go in this direction, but all these matches are getting played today. Abdul Mateen Mula asking, how do you stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time? I use a service called Restream that allows you to go from your OBS to Restream, and then Restream directs it to multiple sources. I could be streaming on 5 different locations right now. I could be on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Trovo, DLive. I could be on all the things right now, but I just choose to do Twitch and YouTube. So Fram going with a fairly heavy-handed variant of Drill. And Bansito countering with the Dark Prince so far. People asking me what deck to push their trophies with. Whatever deck you have leveled the most and are best with. That's my response to that question. And that is pretty much always going to be my response to that question. Give me one moment here, checking on something. Framsito has school, so that's why they're going to play this matchup now. Is because Framsito has to go has school. Why are these pro decks always different to ladder and or meta decks? 2 reasons, Rushi. Well, 1, they're not that different. Some of these pro decks are ladder decks. You know, it just depends on where you're talking about in ladder, right? Like mid-ladder decks are usually nonsense, but a lot of the top ladder decks are these decks. But also, we are playing in duel mode where you cannot repeat cards game by game. So some of these decks are not ladder decks because you have to make adjustments. Because if you play Fireball in Game 1, you can't play it in Game 2 or Game 3. So there you go. What are your thoughts on both Balloon and Bandit? Balloon is a little bit strong, but not in this meta. But Balloon as a card is a little bit strong, but has not been great currently. And Bandit, I think, is pretty much perfectly balanced. I don't think Bandit needs any changes. 1628 to 1149 as Framsito sets up his Mega Knight to the left-hand lane. And Bansito just cycles his miner in the back here just to give some more control. And nice, oh, the skeletons don't prevent the leap, but the rocket does come in to work on that Mega Knight. Oh, and the Bandit connects on the right-hand side, and just like that, Framsito has the lead here in game number 1. I thought he was going to eat that. I thought he was going to eat that for the elixir, but I guess that he was just at enough to pick that one up anyway. And now Rocket onto the Mega Knight. So Rocket cycle for Bansito. He does have lots of defensive capability here. Just needs to not overspend on these Rockets at this stage. Just stacking Teslas right now is Bansito. Arrows to work on the right-hand side. Dark Prince not in cycle, so Log takes care of business in the left-hand lane. That should be it. That now should be enough for Bansito. Does he log this? I guess Log wasn't in cycle. Goes Miner. A little bit of chip damage here. There's some danger on the left-hand side. Played the Dark Prince to the right-hand lane, did Bansito. Log does come in, but that's some significant danger here. 686 to 429. Bansito wants to get that Rocket Log out. And Dark Prince to the right one more time. Arrows working on the left-hand side. Just able to hold. Just able to hold, but oh my word. Oh my word, this is crazy. 275 to 429. Bansito has to play defense and cannot get Rockets down. There you go, Miner in. Can he get to the Rocket in time? Can he get to the Rocket in time? Delivery has to come down on defense. 40 HP on the right-hand side, 93 HP. This is crazy. Rocket down, and nothing can beat the Rocket out. GG, well played. 40 HP. What a crazy, crazy end there. Bansito tiptoeing down the line, barely staying in bounds to get the dub. That was a whole lot of fun. The Dark Princing, though, I mean, Bansito, the number of times that Bansito just put the Dark Prince, maybe, and that, a lot of people are, you don't have to predict drill. You can react drill, right? Like, you can play the Dark Prince a little bit later. Bansito playing the Dark Prince a little early a few times and playing at the wrong lane, and so Probro making that point there on the right-hand side. He Dark Prince the wrong lane. Yeah. I think he was just maybe a little bit nervous and kind of going a little early with the Dark Prince there. Didn't need it. I don't get why he played Dark Prince opposite lane twice in such a tense moment. I think that because it was a tense moment more than anything. He was trying to get it out early rather than respond to it. Fran was in a hurry to attend school, says No Bots Gaming. So there you go. Amazing match. Your thoughts on Giant Skeleton? It's a little underwhelming now. It was probably too powerful before, but a little bit underwhelming now, which maybe is good for the game. Again, I think also that balance changes should really change the game, right? So our Giant Skeleton was really dominant for a while. Time to be a little bit less dominant. You still see it sometimes, just not in the same way that you saw it for a while. And it really made defense to just the ability to win bridge battles with kaboom every single time, made that a little bit annoying. So... Oh, back to, I was about to say this earlier, when I was thinking about balance changes, right? Quarterly balance changes have been kind of a controversial topic overall in Clash Royale. And I think that what would be really interesting is, obviously, they're currently not going back to monthly balance changes. I think a lot of people would like that, but they're not doing that. But I think what we maybe have learned so far from the first 3 quarters is that as long as they're willing, if they are willing to tweak something that's broken during that time period, and maybe like give that first month to 6 weeks of time, and then give a tweak there during the middle of that corner, I think there's some value there. We just haven't actually seen that happen. But that could be something that could be a good way to balance out these quarterly balance changes versus monthly balance changes. On Twitch, people asking if I'm doing predictions. I don't have a mod on right now, and I don't have the bandwidth to do predictions at the moment. If I get a mod on, if a mod shows up and can do predictions, that's fine. But I don't have the I'm trying to do too many things at once to do predictions on Twitch right now. Let's see. People talking about the starting hand stuff on the YouTube chat. Oh wow, that's just an opening smash. You play your mortar high to the right-hand side to open, and Fram just got run through. Had no other counter there. Had no other counter on that right-hand side. On that left-hand side. Mance, those predictions, I'm talking about predictions over on Twitch. People on Twitch are trying to ask for predictions, but probably need to add, I should add a new mod on Twitch at some point. Maybe it'll happen today. And Musket doesn't even connect. This is brutal for Framsito. Absolutely brutal. Oh, is Latak in the chat? I'd mod Latak if he's here on the Twitch chat. And at this point, it's just Bansito kicking it, right? Bansito doesn't need to do anything. Just play some defense and chill. Let's see. Hold on, give me 1 second. Does that work? I don't know if that worked. Pig split here at the bridge, but it's just a matter of time now with the EQ on top of everything. Pigs will touch, touch, touch. Poison in. And that's a GG. Framsito not eliminated, but pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. Danny Trans saying, limit CRL split this with a tablet. They use a phone there. No, they use a tablet for CRL. 99% sure we use a tablet for CRL. As I've, been casting it for a while. There you go. Bansito. Easy dub-dub. GG, well played. No eliminations today, guys. Nobody who loses today is out. Everyone's still in. So we should see, I don't know if we're going to look at replay stuff here or if we're going to see the bracket. But we'll get all that information here fairly soon. And of course, we have some great matches coming up soon. Ooh, boy. Bag, Ruben, Anaban. Going to be a whole lot of fun. And here we go. Some more analysis table from the no longer golden-haired golden boy from Barcelona, Spain. Surgical Wizard says, good morning. Good morning, Surgical Wizard. Bansito with a good game so far. Yates pointing out 2-0 against Mugi, then 2-0 against Fram. So Bansito now currently 4-0 on the day. Great start to his campaign here at the Bren Chong Cup 3 World Finals. So I'm not sure where that's a lot of big jumps going forward from IMJP. And underrated the control that Royal Delivery gives you. And that Dark Prince doing a great job with double duty, picking up both the Drill and the Bandit. And that's a pretty, I mean, I guess you looking at the hand, there was no answer there for Framsito. Didn't have any way to stop that Dark Prince charge. But you think about how this game ended, and that Dark Prince charge is absolutely massive when this one came down to it. And look at the penetration here on the left-hand side. Man, I really wish I had any idea. I would love to hear JP's insight here. So this was 968 to 683. Here we go. We're getting into the final minute in triple elixir. And this is where Framsito just turns up the pressure and did the right thing. Was doing everything he could to prevent any sort of offensive pressure out of Bansito. Just don't let him get anything going on the front end of it. But this was it. Couldn't do anything about that once the miner got in. GG, well played. And I think we're going to be going over to the bracket here in a moment. And there we go. So Bansito done for the day. Look at how deep he is in the winner's bracket right now. So very, very nicely done from Bansito. We will not be seeing him again until Wednesday because tomorrow is just the lower bracket. So there's going to be 6 to 10 matches tomorrow, and Bansito will be back on Sunday in the winner's bracket as he has moved on. You'll be seeing Framsito, Mugi, and the other guys who've taken L's tomorrow when we're streaming on EB7's channel. So there you have it. Let's take a look at some of the chat. When will a new Clash Royale card come out? I have no idea. I have not heard of one. So, but I'm sure there will be one at some point. The announcement that they're working on a big update for endgame content for Max players. Arjun, why no sound from the analysis table? He asks. Because this is a clean feed, and anytime they are on, I'll show you, anytime they're on the camera view as opposed to gameplay view, they have that sound muted so as not to compete with our commentary. But also, he's speaking in Spanish, which I can't translate, so wouldn't super help us either way. So there we go. CWAT is a new card, says Magic Paladin. Oh, did he? Interesting. Bansito has a good analysis or just good luck. Yeah, maybe. So, still waiting on anyone to support me for a Zap buff. What should a Zap buff be? Right? What is a Zap buff? What should a Zap buff be? Yash Varden saying, why they ignore Executioner? Never seen that card in competitive. Did you not watch Clash Royale CRL in 2019? The fall 2019 season was just Executioner. That was when they reworked Executioner. And that fall, it was Executioner in every single deck pretty much in CRL fall 2019. Executioner is one of those cards that's hard to balance. It's hard to balance it between being good and being totally OP. And when they tried to balance it and rework it, it became so oppressively dominant that it was in literally every 7 of 10 decks, not 8 of 10 decks in CRL fall 2019. So yeah, that was the ex-NATO Witch meta, where Witch got reworked as well. So Witch and Executioner were both ridiculously OP, and we basically just watched Witch Executioner games for half a season. Totally killed Lava Hound, as Mance Raider points out. Totally murdered Lava Hound. So yeah, it's one of those. Some cards are hard to balance in a way that isn't game breaking, and Executioner is one of those. I think Wizard's one of those too. Obviously, Expo's one of those on top of it. So a lot of different things that are very difficult. We should have Giant and Pump back in the meta. Giant might be back with the Poison buff. Giant Double Prince has been around a little bit. It hasn't been top meta, but I've seen some people playing Giant Double Prince still. Goizen might be back. Giant Minor Poison might be back. We'll see. This poison change could be really, really impactful. Who are my favorite players? I have a lot of them. A lot of favorites. So, people always want me to name specifics. It's pick your favorite kid. You know what I mean? There's so many people that I like. I don't want to name a specific favorite and snub somebody else. Let's see. Opinion on balance changes. I think they're looking pretty good. 1 second. When is level 14 King going to come out? Says Ark's Empire. I have no idea, and I don't even know if that's... I haven't seen that being officially announced as a thing. So, that might be part of endgame content that they're talking about with this new update. I don't think that's going to be the center of the endgame content. But Let's see. Are you manually getting chats on the deck? Yeah, I actually press them. I have a whole thing that I can do where I can pick the chats that come up and show up right here. So there you go. Tung Fung, Rich, can I have a fake shout out? Nope, you cannot. You may not have a fake shout out, Tung Fung. Not at all. Let's see. I missed the old OP players like Surgical Botchman and Batman. Oh yeah. What do you prefer, the old pro players or the new pro players? Says Maru. I like them in different ways, right? Like there are some classic pros who I would love to see, and there are some current pros who I really enjoy watching. So, you know, it's things like everything, things change. There are some pros who I wish were still playing, but also I do think that I have never seen a pro retire. I've only ever seen one pro retire too early from Clash Royale. One. That's it. Every other pro who's retired, they retired either right on time or a little bit after they should have retired. That's my opinion. I think that if you want to retire, you 100% should. But the only pro who I thought retired too early was Faye. But he did it for school. He decided to move on and go to school as opposed to keep playing Clash Royale League. But I think Faye had a lot more to offer. But I think that other than that, someone saying Electrify retired too early. Maybe he had military service to do, so Electrify had to leave. But you know, did it for school / military service, I think, whatever it was. Yeah, I think that very few pros actually retired too early. Almost all of them retired too late. Like probably retired like a season after they should have, a season or a year after they should have. But you know, trying to play, especially in CRL at that level, the grind is really difficult. So you know, it's one of those things where I think that so for a few players, I'll say this, and it was actually echoed. The God RF actually specifically said, like, acknowledge this as a wow, that's so true. I think that when CRL shifted from teams to individual, and there was no longer a guaranteed salary, a lot of players almost felt like they were kind of released from the pressure of it. They were like, hey, how do I walk away from this guaranteed salary and all this money? And then when it shifted formats, it was almost like it gave them the freedom to retire after they had been kind of starting to feel the grind, feel the pressure too much of how stressful that was. So I think that there was something to be said for that. Do I think it's fair that Mother Witch card get easily finished by Fireball? Yeah, it's a 4-for-4 trade. Why wouldn't that be fair? And I've seen a lot of people naming specific names, and I'll say this. No matter what name you just named in the Twitch chat or in the YouTube chat, all of those players, I think, retired either on time or a season or two too late. And a lot of them even would say that themselves, that they wanted to retire a season earlier because of how hard being a CRL pro is, how stressful it is. But I'll say this, that of the pros who played that I watched in CRL, I think Faye is the only person who retired too early. So Pekka Ram Rider here for Bag, and who's excited for this one? Ruben, defending world champion. Bag, oh, you know what? I just realized I had something planned. 1 second, folks. Where did it go? Oh, here we go. Boom. You don't see Ruben play a ton of Elite Barbarians. You see Ruben play lots of Loon, lots of Hog Rider, some Wall Breakers. A little surprised by E-Barbs here. But he is playing against Bag, who is known for doing out-of-the-box stuff. And that's an out-of-the-box choice against a guy. And Bag here going very meta. And that's a good point, So Pro Bro, asking, where's Latak and his predictions? I'm going to go ahead and say that myself. Latak, where are you with those predictions? EQ on the left-hand side here for Ruben as Bag sets up Pekka in the back one more time. Nick saying Bag is so fun to watch. I love his decks. Yeah, Bag is super fun, and that's why he's really popular amongst the American viewers. The lone American in this event today. And good lightning there, getting 2 E-Barbs and the Musketeer. But Ruben cycling Teslas like mad, stacking, and so that's not going to be any damage through. And that was no tower damage. But it does let Bag set up with just a slight elixir advantage for that P.E.K.K.A. E-Barb's down. And Lightning comes in to clear all that out. Ruben not getting back to another Tesla in time. And a good game coming out from Ruben. Way behind on Elixir here. Oh, look, he's but 2 behind in the hole, and there's a brand new P.E.K.K.A. on the board. Assuming Ruben's running Royal Giant here, I mean, that's already a big problem against P.E.K.K.A. and Ram Rider. You add in Lightning for the Muskie and the... Oh, and a great high Magic Archer there against those Skellies, and nothing Ruben can do here. Tesla should be down fairly quickly, and now just spamming the bridges. Bag. GG, well played. Bag taking game number 1 against the defending world champion. I mean, Ruben trying to hold on here. Hold on. Nah, he knows it. He knows it's over now. What? All right. Come on. There we go. GG. And someone asking about, what if someone's watching the stream? Won't they know how much Elixir does opponent have? Yeah, there's a slight delay on the stream. And also, any of these players can just have a second device open and be seeing the Elixir there in real time as opposed to with any delay that's on stream. So, yeah, if you think there's not a number of players who push ladder and have a second device open to follow Elixir, come on. Let's see, a lot of Bag fans here. Bag the bomb, says Neo Goku. Tony with the Vamos Bag. So I see an update here. Adnan, yeah, if those of you guys who do follow competitive Clash Royale on Twitter might notice that Adnan did say that he had some problem with his account yesterday, with his account getting hacked. And that's supposed to be the matchup against Anaban. We're going to see if, right now, the League Ops are discussing whether or not he'll be able to play. So they're trying to figure out what's a solution to that one, if they can find some way for that to work. Let's see. What do you think about endgame content we're getting at, like level 14 King Tower won't make much sense. I don't know what we're getting, but I think that they did mention something about the idea of a new way to play the game. And I have been saying for a long time that I think a cool change to the game, or a cool risk, I think that would be interesting to check out, was if you could change what your towers do defensively, right? If there were ways to have your King Tower, specifically King Tower, if your King Tower could essentially have an Ice Wizard on top as opposed to an Archer, or as opposed to the cannon, right? Or if your King Tower could have an if you could change the way that your King Tower does stuff to make King Tower activation more impactful, that could be interesting. So 13-3 so far for Ruben, 11-5 so far for Bag. Thank you, Death Adder, loving the sunglasses. Yeah, that was RG, people are saying. Imagine King Tower Magic Archer, says Quentin Goins. Yeah. So we have not seen Electro Giant until just now. First E-Giant of the day. And immediately as Mother Witch goes to the right, Bag goes aggressive with the Baby Dragon Graveyard push. And that's going to be a ton of damage for Bag here. And all of those pieces, Baby Dragon, Furnace, and Mega Minion, totally leads you in a different direction, right? You're sitting there going, okay, is this RG? Maybe it's Golem. Got to be something more beatdown-like. Those 3 cards historically with beatdown. And maybe that was the read Ruben had. Cannon card does make it a little bit fishy, but I think Ruben had a different read on that one and got punished for it. I'm going to turn up the volume here on the gameplay just a little bit. So very interesting graveyard deck out of bag, and Ruben got caught looking, and now has to break through against Furnace, Cannon Cart, and NATO. Not a ton of single target DPS against the Electro Giant, but hasn't been a problem yet. And a solid lightning to stick that Cannon Cart in the back out of Ruben. And now he sets up to the left-hand side. Not going to support this. Just going to let it go and see if he can get a little bit of chip damage. Does the NATO activate? And it does. King Tower activation not huge in this matchup, but you do, of course, always like it. And Bomber does go down. Unfortunate there for Ruben. Just a half step off on the timing there. Does get rid of the Furnace, but of course Cannon Cart goes into phase 2, and that's more than enough. Dark Prince connection, though, is absolutely huge. 1487-78, and just like that, Ruben's back in the mix, and now he's the one pressuring the bridge heavily. The Inferno Dragon starting to become a factor in this game at this late stage. And Ruben's going to just play this lane. I think he believes that he can win this exchange more often than lose it. And now with the Mother Witch way in the back, Fireball does not get the Mother Witch. She does not step up into the pocket, and this might be the big shift that Ruben needs. Healthy Mother Witch, tons of pigs on the board, Electro Giant behind, and pigs going all over that tower. NATO trying to pull things back. Mother Witch still healthy as that Lightning, trying to make room here for the Electro Giant, and good timing there too, so the Electro Giant does actually go back to tower. Bag might need to do a little bit more expenditure here, spends Fireball on defense, and that tower takes a huge chunk, 12-13 to 707. High IQ plays out of the defending world champion. And now Cannon Cart going to get burned. And the NATO for the Baby Dragon. Ruben just trying to get everything out of the way. He might go E-Giant again here if he can get it in front of the Mother Witch. No, he can't, but Lightning gets its job done. Wants to set the line high here and not get graveyarded, but that's a big push on the right-hand side for Bag. Just a threatening push. No, he does go ahead and pull the trigger on Graveyard. Cannon Cart now as well. Bag trying to go full send on the right-hand side. NATO to pull everything back here. Cannon Cart no longer in range. Not going to be enough, though. Bag went for the opposite lane. Ruben was up to the task, and that's a very, very well-played game by Ruben, who throws the Lightning on tower for emphasis, and we're going to game number 3. Man, that Fireball not getting the Mother Witch, what a huge, huge swing there. Huge swing to change things. And that's how much one poorly played spell can shift an entire match. 1 second here. 1 second, just responding to Mrs. Slayton. Nobots Gaming saying, what a comeback. Yeah, what a great comeback there. We're going to get a nice game 3 here in a moment. GG Ruben, says Sanchit. It's going to be a fun game 3. Beast Carl saying, isn't Rich just the best commentator in gaming history? I didn't say it, you did. So fun so far. And game number 3 coming up very, very soon. When's the Mohamed Light match? It's coming up soon. Mo Light's match will be, I think it's either in like 1 or 2 matches from now. Death Adder saying, hope you Mrs. Lane have a good game. A good day. Thank you very much. We will. It's Friday. Friday is always good. People give me, thank you for the love, guys. I'm gonna just put the love up on screen here. Just, you know, toot my own horn a little bit. Do I think triple draft tournaments should be a thing? No, I do not think that they are good for, I don't think they're actually good for competitive. Regular draft for sure isn't, and triple draft seemed like it would be at first, And then after watching it in CRL East back in spring of 2020, I don't think so. Especially because, like, essentially the way that the triple draft is balanced, like, there are certain cards that always are always the same combinations. So it actually becomes less varied rather than more varied. And there are certain cards that you always have to draft, pretty much. Triple draft just is not a good competitive, a viable competitive format. So that's my feeling on that one. Oh, Attacks Lunch just said, is there anyone to mod on Twitch who can do predictions? Because so far we have had none, and Attacks got to run. Are we going to see Anaban? We will see Anaban in one match today, at least. We're trying to figure out if he gets a bye in the first round or not. Do I know Lemon Tree? Yes, I know Lemon Tree. He came on once for one game and did all the noises. Ruben playing Witch. So Bag probably going Stinky Cheese here in Game 3. As you see the Electro Dragon, but who knows what he's doing here. But Bag known for it. Oh, interesting. Electro Dragon, 6-man. But Ruben going Witch. And the wow comes out from Ruben. First time watching competitive Clash Royale, says Trenton. Very intriguing. Yeah, it's a different level. And when I have pros on to give some extra analysis, we get even more in-depth to these little elements. If you ever watch Clash Royale League, that's when we have two-time regional champion Joshua Akrap Sharon, who won CRL NA with Immortals and CRL West with Space Station Gaming, and world champion coach of Team Liquid Eric Benamu. And the extra analysis they give during CRL is wonderful. And Andrew and I have been really happy to have them as part of the team this year. And of course, Eric will be casting tomorrow and Sunday. So it's 6-Loon Drill out of Bag with the Electro Dragon. When I saw the 6-man, I was like, it feels like it has to be Loon, but the E-Drag is very strange. Oh, not Lemon Tree, sorry, Lemonade. Lemon Tree, the Expo player, you mean. Yeah, I know Lemon Tree, I just don't know him personally. I thought you meant Lemonade, who came on and did sounds on the stream. Sugar is saying that Ruben's playing Mortar Graveyard, which is such a weird card to see out of Ruben. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and this is the trial, so don't abuse your power, your new power here. But new mod on Twitch. Don't abuse your power. Let's get some good predictions in. Cannon Cart GY and Mother Witch working on the graveyard, and that Fireball did not miss a Mother Witch. Doesn't matter though, it's the damage on the left-hand side that's significant. E-Barbs into the Witch. Cannon Cart to protect her alongside those Skellies. Do I think a new card will come with a new update? They haven't announced one, but we'll see. And defensive drill for Bag, trying to hold on. And the fireball from Ruben. What a fireball from Ruben. What a great fireball from Ruben there, right? Pushing the E-Dragon to range, and a great comeback overall from the Spaniard. GG, well played. Yagit saying, isn't Ruben the one that plays Witch, GY, and CRL? Did he play it in CRL? I don't have, like, the memory for every deck that everyone played. Like, some people just, like, know every deck everyone ever played. I don't have that kind of memory. So a big win here for Ruben. A tough outing there for Bag, but had a solid game number one. Let's go for the for this analysis here with Bane, or with Bale. Not with Bane, that's hilarious. And so right here, this was this moment where plenty of elixir for Ruben, but he cycles the Mother Witch to the right-hand side. And so Bag just goes, oh yeah, well I'm going to drop the Baby Dragon GUI to the left-hand lane and take as much advantage of this as I possibly can. And if you see, I believe he's showing here that the Baby Dragon is just in the range of the Princess Tower, and it is. And that cage being a half step late is what results in so much damage here. Big time damage. And so as we go forward, this was a big moment from Ruben. Really solid. You see Ruben has the lightning queued up here and takes care of the furnace, and that puts the E-Giant way in deep. And it's not the Electro that does the damage here, but it's the Dark Prince charge. It's absolutely massive. And at this point, it became Ruben just putting pressure on, and this was going to be difficult for Bag overall at this stage. But you see here, the Mother Witch comes in very deep, and I think that Bag thought that the Mother Witch would take one step closer forward. But we're going to go ahead and see the Fireball come in. See the Mother Witch. The Mother Witch never steps out from outside, from behind the King Tower. He thought that Mother Witch would take one more step to the left and get within that Fireball range. And he didn't wait to see if it happened. That's the big thing, is he tried to do it preemptively and keep the momentum going rather than actually wait for the Mother Witch to step into range. And at that point, he's way too far behind on Elixir. The damage is already going towards Ruben's side. He has to Fireball here to prevent his tower from being shredded. But he's already so far behind that not much you can do at this point. Goes for the opposite lane play. And at this point, you see Ruben is just sitting on all the Elixir. Was sitting on 10. And at that point, easily able to control everything. That's GG. That's well played. And that's game over. And that Fireball, I don't know if that I don't know if Boss win or if Bag wins if that Fireball doesn't get played. But I know that Fireball definitely put the nail in the coffin for Bag in that one. So there's a rough one overall. Bad lip reading anybody, says Bob of Borg. Yeah, that would be fun. But Bag, don't worry guys, and that's a good point from Mance Raider. Bag is not out. He's down but not out. The bracket, and I'll link the bracket here in the chat right now. The bracket though is a double elimination bracket, so he is still alive and well for the moment. Here you go. Let me go take a look at. I'll link this in both the Twitch and YouTube chat. There's the bracket if you want to follow along yourself. Down but not out is Bag. Nobody today is eliminated, so that's good. Tomorrow will be the elimination bracket day, and then Sunday will be the final day of our World Championship. Let's see. A lot of people saying, wow, Bag had that. Ruben, oh, wow, Bag had that. Let's see. Looking at the chat here for a minute. When do balance changes go live, says Nick, and people answering in the chat. Yeah, it's going to be on the 6th after the update, as it typically goes. What's my opinion on Mugi? He's very good at Clash Royale. That's my opinion on Mugi. I think that's a pretty simple one, right? Do you think Night Witch will be dead next season and Mother Witch still OP? I think that Night Witch, their goal is to make Night Witch not just... first of all, their goal is to undermine Golem Clone, which is Golem Clone is super annoying. And Night Witch's Death Bats make Golem Clone ridiculous, really polarizing matchup. So that's one of their big goals there, is to get rid of that. And also, but they made Night Witch more powerful in other ways, and maybe make Night Witch more viable in other decks besides just Golem and Golem Clone. So we'll see if that does have the supposed change. Colin Whitmore saying, do you think the fact that Clash is played in a vertical aspect ratio has impacted the popularity of the game as a spectator esport because of the similar viewing space on horizontal screens? I don't believe so, Colin. I think that mobile esports are just challenging in North America in particular, just because we have a PC and console-based community. I think that when you're watching on, I think the challenge is for people who are watching on mobile devices. When they're watching, that's why CRL Season 1 was vertical rather than horizontal, was to give people who are watching from the app on their phone or their tablet a better viewing experience. But the hardcore people who watch esports really wanted it to be in landscape mode because they tend to watch on PC or cast it on their TV. So that was the big shift, the big question mark. Overall, vertical CRL was actually a success in a lot of ways when you talk about how that impacted the viewership experience during that first season. The fun fact, the reason why we switched from vertical to horizontal wasn't because people thought that horizontal was better on the development side, but because you have more distribution options when you go horizontal. The only people who could really do vertical CRL in a meaningful way at the time were YouTube. So switching to horizontal allowed a wider array of distribution, including if those of you who were in the US saw that CRL World Finals in 2019 was rebroadcast on TBS, was rebroadcast on television, which was super cool for me and for everyone in Clash Royale. So being horizontal allows more distribution options, but vertical CRL was was actually really a good viewer experience. And I think the really cool thing would be to figure out if there's a way to allow people to choose how they want to watch. The actual official stream would be super cool, but from a technological standpoint, that's actually more challenging than you might imagine. Sujan saying, "Who's your current favorite player in CRL?" I don't have one. Let's see. If no one's eliminated today, what's the point of today's bracket? No. Look at the bracket, Jihad. I'll link the bracket one more time. Today we are seeing, this is a double elimination bracket. So what that means is the players who win today are maintaining, remember it's double, so you have 2 losses before you're out. The players who win today move on in the upper bracket and get closer to the prize pool and those big finishes. The players who lose go down to the lower bracket. So we are doing a portion of the bracket today. These are all impactful matches, but they're just not elimination matches. So, if you look at the bracket that is linked, you can then go see where everyone is. But these are just as important as tomorrow and as important as Sunday. Let's see. Someone says a YouTuber has posted interactions that balance changes and it shows that Snowball fully counters Balloon and only gets death damage. Ooh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Let's see. I'm looking at more of the chat. Chicken Gamer, hello. Hey, Chicken Gamer, how are you? Good to see you. Let's see. Mance Raider saying, did I know about TBS? That's dope. Yeah, it was actually really cool. I was with after CRL World Finals 2019, I went to do the holidays with my family, and I was with my big extended family when CRL was live on TBS. So, my family is like, oh, you do this thing on YouTube. Interesting. But they got to watch me casting CRL on national television in the U.S. That was a big moment for me and very cool for me and my family. So, and great for everyone in Clash Royale. It was very cool. And, I think there would have been more of that had 2020 not been what 2020 was. Hello from Utah, USA. I even like that you misspelled Utah, which actually makes it even better. A lot of people saying Morton's their favorite player here in the chat. Yeah, I see that. People always want to talk about who's your favorite player. Morton is not playing today. Morton did not make it to this stage. He was in the EMEA region, but did not make the top 3. Jihad saying, I want to BO3 me and you have to stream. What do you think? No, I don't BO3 people. I just don't do it. So, you go enjoy your ladder pushing though. I'm trying for 6.6 this season. I'm at 6.4 right now. I was at 64.96, new PB by the way. I have lost my game for 6.5 like 4 or 5 times now. I've had a really good run and then just run into like hard counters at that 6.5 game. I misplayed one and then had like 3 counters at for the 6.5 game. Rich, you're playing how many hours per day? Maybe one or 2 at the most. I don't grind because I have a lot of things that I'm doing. Let's see. My views on B-Rad/B-Chad. I'm a huge B-Rad fan. He's great. Cool dude, very funny, great content creator, great player, nice guy. I've always liked Brad a lot. He's very, very cool. My favorite, Josh Varden saying his favorite player is Viper, the Queso Cup version. Okay. Nick saying, what deck are you using right now? Well, the only deck that could get me to 6.6 is Skill Drill. We saw Hajime use it earlier. I'm currently playing Drill Magic Archer NATO. That's the one that I'm currently playing. So we'll see. I kind of have a thing, guys, so ask me how many hours per day I play. I kind of have a thing where when I start playing, I basically play, I tend to, I don't always do this, but I tend to play until I lose. If I lose at the first game, then I'll play again. But if I go on a run, I'll play until I lose and then stop. Because I'm very tiltable. So I like to walk away from the game when I take an L. If I lose 2 in a row, then I 100% close the app and stop playing. Because I know Like, I know how my mentality works, and I'm like, oh, it's let me just go ahead, reset, I'll come back a couple hours and see what happens. What's my personal best? 64.96 is my personal best. Man United say my favorite player is Anaban. Congrats to any Man United fan, by the way, on the return of Cristiano. That'll be fun to watch. Let's see. Hey, Mohamed was with 20 Egyptian. Is it Egyptian? What's the currency? Is it? It's not. I don't want to say. Is it dinars? That seems like that's outdated, right? Have an awesome Friday in Bane's voice. Have an awesome Friday. Have an awesome Friday. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Let's see. Oh, the PB command has been edited. 64.96, new PB for me. Let's see if I can continue to beat that. Guys, if you're wondering, hey, where's the gameplay? We're waiting on the next round. I'm not exactly sure why they're taking so long, but I see there's a big desk where they're talking a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, there's a 5-minute break while they're doing some new sponsor integration. That's what's happening. All right, so we're on a 5-minute break as they do a bunch of sponsor stuff. 20 Egyptian pounds equals 1.27 United States dollars. Okay, that's what it is. Wait, you know how to imitate voices, says Beast Carl. I have some random ones. All of my voices are very like niche. I've been trying to learn how to do the electro, like, because you saw that video of there's a guy who does the electro wizard who like did the actual voice, and then what he did so is he would shake his neck, so he'd go like electrify, right? He'd shake his neck to like give that little like wobble, zap. So I've been trying to learn that one. That one's kind of silly. Do a Scottish accent, but Thunderstruck's not playing. Here we go. Looking look at the bracket. We have one more match. We're trying to figure out if Anaban versus Trainer Adnan is going to actually happen, because Adnan got supposedly there's a problem with his account. We're trying to figure out if that's actually the Egyptian pound is what that was. I'm trying to figure out if that actually is the case. So we don't know yet if Anaban is going to actually play this match or not. The remaining matches today that were definitely going to happen are Mohamed Light versus Hajime, Imedwin versus Ruben, and KK versus either Anaban, or if Adnan plays and wins, then Adnan. So we'll find out what those matches are, of course. So we either have 3 or 4 matches remaining for the day. And, of course, as soon as I have more information, I'll make sure you know. But there's our look at the bracket for le moment. Dada Prasad asking, how many new sunglasses in that deck of yours? Oh, total? I think I have let me count boxes. So in my closet over there, I see 10, 15 boxes there. I think I have a few more. I have at least 20 pairs of Gooders. There you go. At least 20. Is CR in my stand-up? Asked Gareth Tompkins. I have one joke, not about Clash Royale specifically, but about esports. I have one joke, but I can't do Clash Royale jokes during a stand-up set because no one's gonna know what I'm talking about. So we are getting the word it will be a free win for Anaban. We don't know what's gonna happen with Adnan's deck situation or with his account situation. Man, my nose is so itchy right now. We don't know what's going on with his account situation, but Anaban does get the win and moves on to the next round. So you'll be seeing Anaban in a little bit today. Let's see. Cycle CR asking what headphones are those? These are the Audio Technica BPHS 1s. They are a broadcast headset. I go from these into a Focusrite 2i2. And here you go. There's the free win for Anaban. So there you go. Free win for Anaban. We will see him play in just a little bit. So there you go. There you have it. Are you hater of Expo? I used to be an Expo player. Now I find it really annoying to play against. So there you go. Man, I think it's my mustache is tickling in my nose. It's very, very annoying. Let's see. I don't know why you're requesting that I wear my green glasses so much. I might wear them again at some point, but right now I'm enjoying these ones. Try Hog Mortar sometime, says Rude Ranch. I think I've played Hog Mortar. Right now, I'm really enjoying my skill drill. Let's see. I feel sorry for Adnan, says life is... Yeah, well, who knows, if there was what happened with his account. We'll find out. Tony saying, I play Hog EQ. Expo's never a problem. Yeah, when I played Hog EQ, I didn't mind. you know, it's just one of those ones where, like, there are certain matches where you're like, ugh, this is brutal. Why free win? Because Anaban's opponent, there's a problem with his account. So here we go. We're going into our here's the actual bracket. Our next match is going to be KK versus Anaban. They put the wrong name there. It's supposed to say TRB Anaban, not TRB Adnan. I'm going to tell them to fix the bracket. 1 second. So next match is going to be Anaban versus KK. We still have Hajime versus Light today and Imedwin versus Ruben. My guess is we're going to have Hajime versus Light after KK versus Anaban, because it's so late right now in the East. That is my guess, but again, I don't know for sure that that's what's happening. Oh, now they're fixed. There we go. They fixed it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the fixed one. Oh, now we're in the lower. There's the lower bracket as well. Reminder: no one's out yet. No one's eliminated. So as you can see, Mugi, Bag, Fram, Trainer Adnan, and Lauta all still in. Now, one important note for those of you who will be watching with Eric Benamou tomorrow: the players who lost in round 1, they have a disadvantage to the players who lost in round 2. So Framsito, for example, I can't remember who he's matched up against, but let's take a look at Mugi. Mugi will have to win his opponent 2 best-of-3s in order to win the matchup, because of the advantage they're giving to people who make it to round 2. Because 12 was a weird number, so they have a weird thing they do in order to balance that out. Where did you buy the baby dragon behind me? I didn't buy it. It was a thing that I got. Baby dragon's no longer for sale. I actually do have somewhere. I have some cool merch that I'll be doing some giveaways with at some point. So, you know, we'll see. Predictions. Oh yes, predictions for our KK versus Anaban should be here in a minute. Where is Andrew Guy? We still cast CRL together. Andrew and I cast CRL together, but this is on my channel. Typically, as the casting team, we don't like come together for the stuff that's on our personal channels. But for CRL, it'll be myself, Andrew, Eric, and AC, as it's been all year. So there you go. Hi, Rich. Your English fluency is OP. Well, I'd hope so. It would be really strange if my English fluency was struggling. That would be a big problem. Here we go. Fan favorite. You love him or you love to hate him. It's going to be Anaban up against KK, and Anaban running a Hoggy Q variation versus KK's Lava Loon Miner. And the Inferno picks up the Lava Hound, and the Loon goes right in. And look at that huge, huge play. Doesn't get the Firecracker off with the arrows, but the Firecracker distracted anyway. And what an interesting opening. What an interesting opening. So it's KK with the big Loon opposite lane play after the Inferno Tower came out high against the Lava Hound. And I guess maybe the Anaban didn't expect there to be a Loon in this one for some reason. And the Inferno Dragon going to get easily dealt with by that Inferno Tower. So now for a KK, I think it's going to be mostly minor play on that left-hand side to try to get the little bit of damage in. Surprised he went to the number 1 spot here. I would have gone maybe even to the inside corner. And the Loon comes in, Inferno Tower not in cycle, or maybe trying to save it for the Lava Hound. GG. But this Hog gets a ton of damage. So now 17-32 to 25-34. Gareth Tompkins was dead. I knew you were going to answer the fluency guy. I can't just let it go. Lava Hound in. Arrows to clear the Firecracker out. And no, the minions almost get in front of the Lava Hound, but don't quite. But that balloon sneaks right past the second Inferno Tower. Oh, my word. Balloon go boom. GG, well played. KK takes game number 1. Hope you guys in the predictions, if are predictions even happening? Hope you guys in predictions picked KK so far. We'll see, of course, if KK holds on to it, but that was a shellacking in game number 1. Absolute devastation. And Harsh saying KK should be winning with arrows against Firecracker. And that's the big one. You know, you think Inferno Tower kind of balances it out, but the arrows against Firecracker, oof. Pretty rough one. People say, no way. Yeah, well, I mean, arrows for Firecracker kind of shut down a major part of that. Do predictions on YouTube, too. I actually don't know how. Did they add that now? My most hated card? I mean, I really do hate Golem. But MK Skelly Barrel has been hard for me lately. I don't know why. I've been, like, I shouldn't be struggling much against Skeleton Barrel as I am, but I have been. But, yeah. The Golem in general is probably my number 1 most annoying one. What do you think Anaban will play here in game number 1? E-Giant, Loon Freeze? Who knows? Who knows what Anaban goes to in game number 2? I wish we had the decks up on screen in between matches, but we don't. We unfortunately don't get to do it. Beast Car, who's your favorite player right now? I mean, right now, you know, probably De Bruyne. If I'm my favorite player right now, it's probably De Bruyne. It's really, really, really fun to watch. Would have been great to see him and Ronaldo together, but, you know, is what it is. It's possible to do predictions on YouTube. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I've never done them, so maybe we'll do them next time. I know that YouTube has added some new features, but I haven't explored them yet, so we'll add those as we do. KK Anaban Game 2 coming up here in just a minute. And again, to remind you guys, it was KK running Lava Loon Miner with arrows in game number 1. Anaban running Hog EQ with Firecracker and the Inferno Tower. That does save Tesla for him for another game. But right now, it does feel like not only did KK get a good matchup in game number 1, but it feels like he has good opportunities for the matchup here in game number 2. And so Anaban going Drill in game 2. Drill Poison. And Sylph saying what I was thinking too was that Anaban playing Tesla Drill in game number 2 seems predictable. And I was going to say that as well. That it did feel a little bit, that I thought that he might go this direction in game 2. And it felt like easy to predict. Omar asking when is Mohamed Light playing. I believe next, but I'm not entirely sure. So this is interesting because the Flying Machine, we talk about it all the time, abuse the Flying Machine. Poison will not get Flying Machine off the board that quickly. But Flying Machine, and then you also have two buildings to deal with. So K could go with building spam. Expect to see KK really try to abuse the heck out of Flying Machine, as there isn't really a great way to deal with it, right? You get the high Tesla, maybe. And it's really hard for Anaban to support these drills when E-barbs are specifically the answer. Now, that is a -2 trade for KK. As you can see, though, the Flying Machine in the middle here, just in that really obnoxious range, and will connect on the right-hand side. So while it has been Anaban with most of the damage so far, just like that, it is KK now getting right back in the mix at 1966, although some damage coming in here on the side of Anaban. Only one spell for Anaban, so no small spell. Keep an eye on that and how annoying some of these spear goblins get as time goes on. That's a big spend for Anaban on the right-hand side, and he should be able to go ahead and hold on against these E-Barbs, though, as we go to the final 10 seconds of regulation time. Lead right now for the sniper out of Mexico. And doing a good job getting poison value here is Anaban. Flying Machine has connected once for KK, but hasn't been as obnoxious as you would hope for him. Now he loads up spawners into the opposite lane, away from the drill. He wants to force poisons on that side as much as possible and keep them off that right-hand tower. And now pressuring behind the Zappies goes KK. I think this is going to result in some nice poison value here for Anaban, although he does have to play defense. So the pressure, the high pressure with the E-Barbs, and that's a good way to change the defense here by KK. To not go ahead and just keep on playing the exact same thing on defense over and over again. Really critical so you don't give your opponent too much ease in response. And the moment that poison comes out, you see KK goes furnace to the right-hand side. Because he knows it's going to take a while to get back to that poison in a meaningful way. And now Drill switches lanes here for Anaban. And that's a ton of damage, 687, split lane, and Anaban trying to focus on getting that Drill taken care of. Drill does get out of the poison range just barely, no, but now second, not Drill, I mean Flying Machine. Anaban trying to take control of the Flying Machines here. Tesla will do it. Royal Ghost going to connect on the left-hand side here. And KK, his only option is to log, but that's 287. That's a lot of problems with 30 seconds left. And that's the problem with this deck here. With KK's deck, you fall behind in this long matchup, your ability to come from behind is almost nil. And the E-Barb's trying to control here. 82 seconds left. I don't think KK can overwhelm enough to beat out the poison. He's just trying, but not going to happen. E-Barb's going to get stopped, and there you go. Anaban evens things up. We're going to game number 3. And people talking about who has matchup? Yes, Anaban does have matchup. And there you go. Imagine if KK loses by 2 Spirit Goblin hits. Well, he lost by a bit more than that. So poison out on the side of Anaban now. Anaban still has Lightning, Fireball, and Rocket for game number 3. You kind of have to expect that Anaban's going to play... Look, I mean, Anaban could go any direction, but you feel like... I mean, you think about what KK's played so far. KK has played Lava Loon Miner, and KK's played double spawners, right? So this gets actually really challenging to figure out where he's going next, right? Because KK has Hog available, he has Royal Hogs available, he has Golem available, he has RG available. Like, the 2 decks that he's played leave essentially the amount of meta that he still has available is so huge. P.E.K.K.A. Ram Rider's available. Siwoon Tip saying Anaban going freeze, right? So this is really interesting because on the side of KK, the 2 deck choices he's made make it so hard to figure out what he's going to do next. So this is one of the harder choices Anaban's going to have here, as far as what Graveyard is an option as well. Cycles here saying KK going Graveyard in game number 3, right? Because again, like, the choices made so far don't really limit KK at all. On the other side of it, you talk about what Anaban's done so far. Hog EQ, so that means like there's a whole phase of things that now KK's not worried about because the EQ is out. The Inferno Tower no longer in the game, which does open up some pretty good options, and Tesla now, right? Or did KK? Oh yeah, Tesla. Yeah, Tesla Drill is gone, right? So it makes it a bit easier on KK's side to decide where he wants to go. I think that KK has a lot more information and a lot more dangerous things that you are off the board. You think about narrowing it down with Tesla and Inferno Tower both gone. So that leaves Cage as one of the buildings. Bomb Tower is really not viable right now. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I do think that from a deck selection standpoint, this game is much easier for KK in that area than it is for Anaban. Anavash saying E-Giant Lightning for Anaban is his guess. Stinger Esports also saying Anaban will go E-Giant. So very, very interesting. Lots of now 3 people saying Anaban goes E-Giant, 4 people saying Anaban goes E-Giant. So people really picking the Anaban E-Giant here. People saying nice goggles. Yes, these are goggles. That is the word for it. Jihad saying my guess is E-Giant versus Golem Clone is a guess for Jihad Cozy. So we'll see. Tony Jaw saying Splash Yard. Second person saying that KK goes Graveyard in Game 2 or in Game 3. So here we go, all tied up. KK cycles Snowball, Anaban cycles Barb Barrel. Is KK going P.E.K.K.A or MK Ram Rider? Looking more and more bridge spammy. And Anaban looking like RG. Super Nucleus saying RG probably. Oh, did I put that one? Yeah, I did. Harsh saying P.E.K.K.A. Anaban could be playing E-Giant instead of RG. And it is P.E.K.K.A Ram Rider for KK. He's going to go ahead and ignore that Mega Minion on the left-hand side and keep on the pressure on the right-hand side. P.E.K.K.A trying to get enough room here for the Bandit to go to tower, and the Bandit does. Nice little leapfrog. That will be a King Tower activation, but I don't think he cares at this point. 1,000 damage in early on, and the well played from Anaban with the sad Goblin. Barb Barrel just to make a little bit of pressure and force a response out of Anaban. The damage and elixir lead pretty huge here for KK in Game 3. Anaban does go Fireball in Game 3, maybe thinking he'd be up against Fireball Bait. Maybe Mother Witch. Turns out neither of those two. And KK just kind of chilling back here at the moment. Bandit will not sneak through, though. And solid pickup there with the Barb Barrel to protect the Dark Prince's shield. 15-26 on the right-hand tower, so that same lead for KK still holding. And you can see how much he's willing to leak here. KK's now to slow this game way down. Waiting for that RG for the P.E.K.K.A, and there you go. KK slowed this way down, though this could be some trouble on the left-hand side. Snowball comes in to reset things, but that's a lot of damage here. That Brawler going crazy. Bandit has to come out late. You saw what KK was trying to do there with delaying and leaking quite a bit of elixir to make sure that he had the P.E.K.K.A ready for the RG. But that might have been a little overdoing it. P.E.K.K.A high this time, needs to put something in to slow down that RG. It's going to take 2 shots. And just like this, what really felt like it was KK's game has completely gone the opposite direction. This is a huge turn of events for Anaban, who's now in pretty good control here. It's going to be very difficult for KK to keep damage off tower now. Ewiz does go down. KK has to set up Ram Rider on this into the same lane to slow down RGs. This is, yeah, see, it's so frustrating for him. He had the damage on the right-hand side and then leaked like 4 or 5 or 6 elixir at one point. And just got totally overwhelmed in that moment. Keeping the Ewiz alive, really important here for KK, and he can't do it. This Ram Rider, yeah, this completely changed. Slows down the RG, but the Ram Rider gets pulled. Absolutely insane. What an insane, insane game here. Wow. Wow. Anaban goes to the left-hand side, just puts the pressure on, and KK kind of freezes a little bit. Freezes waiting for the RG, gives up a bunch of elixir advantage, and Anaban gets the win. What a crazy, crazy end of that game. Someone saying KK's deck very hard to play according to Morton. And here we're going to see some breakdown from IMJP. Don't exactly know what the breakdown is, but we will see it. And hold on, folks. My computer being a little bit slow here for a second. And okay, I think we're working again. All right, so just starting off the game here. Super charismatic Nucleus saying, "Wow, Anaban a competitive player now. He's been playing well in the Bren Chong in the BCC3. He's been playing really well, and so far this is all at this point it's all KK. Even with the King Tower activation, it's been all KK. It's a good. I mean, that's a great fisherman though. But this bandit sneaks in right behind, gets the dash. P.E.K.K.A is still tanking. Forces the fireball out. Look at this. So KK's up 1,000 HP and 4 elixir. 3.5 to 4 elixir. Huge, huge lead. As soon as we go through, this was it here. So I wish we'd kind of taken a step back and started this a little bit earlier. But you see the E-Wiz walks away, forces the and doesn't finish off working against the. I mean, I wish we'd gone back a little bit, started that a little bit earlier there to see the big delay out of KK. But on top of all that, not only does KK delay and give up a lot of elixir there with that dual lane pressure, because he's trying to wait for the RG, but also the E-Wiz walks away from the Goblin Brawler, and then the Bandit has to come out. The Bandit comes out late and does the most damage that it can. But even that E-Wiz going to that lane could have really made a big difference. But at that point, when the Bandit came out to put him in even a bigger elixir hole, and Anaban just put his foot on the pedal, put the gas down. And that Brawler went, whoo, boy. Stinger saying Anaban had the matchup. Goblin Cage and Fisherman are very good against Ram Rider. Yeah, he might have had the matchup, but once you're down 1,000 HP and 4 elixir, right, should you still have... I think at that point, is the matchup so strong that being down 1,000 HP and 4 elixir, still you have matchup at that point? Right? So that becomes that to me is where the question is interesting. But here we go, taking a look at the brackets now. Anaban does go through in the winner's bracket. KK does still have the advantage in the lower bracket. So KK tomorrow will play against Mugi. And again, because KK was in round 2 of the winner's bracket, KK only has to win the first BO3 to move on. Mugi will have to double win. We'll have to win a BO3 and then win a second BO3 to move on over KK in the Battle of the Rising Sun. So that's going to be an interesting one tomorrow and a tough one for Mugi against his friend, countryman, and teammate. But Anaban moving right along. So remaining matches, we do have the Mo Light matchup, and I believe it's going to be very soon. Mo Light versus Hajime. That might be the next match. In fact, it is the next matchup. So Mo Light versus Hajime coming up next. That's going to be super duper fun. So let's get that prediction up on the Twitch side. Man, that's gonna be a good one. And guys, if you are watching on Twitch or YouTube, whichever one you're watching on, I do really appreciate you guys being here. If you're on Twitch, go ahead and give me a follow. When I do these events, I always co-stream on Twitch. But if you want to see the YouTube content, I'm gonna throw that both on Twitch and on YouTube. The subscribe link on YouTube. You can watch the full VODs for these. Also, I take some of the top matches from the days that I don't cast. So whether it be from World Finals Day 2 or Day 3, or from other regions, I do put specific, top, really good matches. I recast those in the BO3s and put those on my channel, plus other content, some like deck breakdowns, things like that. Have a really good one. If you like P.E.K.K.A Bridge Spam, did a great video with Jax, breaking down 5 keys to making you better at P.E.K.K.A Bridge Spam. So go ahead, subscribe, a lot of that kind of fun stuff over on YouTube, and hopefully you enjoy it. And if you're just enjoying the stream, I'll hang out and that's it. Cool, that's also great too. Let's take a look at the chat here. Gareth Tompkins saying Anaban is a fighter. Yep, absolutely. Very true. What's my favorite deck to watch or play in the current meta? To play, obviously, it's Drill, Magic Archer, NATO, because it's the only one I can... It's the one that's giving me all my new PB stuff. Sluggish Cross, my PB. My new personal best is 64.96. Trying to push for 6.6K this season. We'll see. Who sponsors the $40,000 reward, says Hans. Partially Bren Chong and partially Supercell, I believe, is how that's broken down. Here we go. The matchup you guys want to see. Let's get it. Hajime up against Mo Light. Mo Light, as you can see, 14-0, undefeated in this tournament so far. We'll see if that continues along. So Mo going minor, and Hajime going drill here in game 1. Valk out of cycle. Oh, no, not out of cycle, but he plays Valk high and goes to the log low. Interesting play. $13K bet on Mo Light in the Twitch chat. So if you bet on Hajime and he wins, that's a huge channel points push that way. Stinger Esports, why does no one use Sparky in CRL nowadays? Sparky play in CRL overall has been very limited. Goblin Giant Sparky Rage had its day for a minute. And some people have played Sparky in some of these competitions, but it's not super duper strong. And most decks and pros are able to counter Goblin Giant Sparky Rage pretty well. We do see it occasionally. So Mo Light playing some Mortar. If you like seeing Mo Light, you like seeing him play Mortar for sure. And he puts Mortar high left-hand side. Tesla, nice counter. Lead right now for Mo, 1893 to 1925. And things slowing down quite a bit here. And the minor Electro Spirit combination there just put a little bit more pressure. And that's a nicely timed Fireball, forces the log out from Mo, who still has a slight elixir advantage. And this is the second time now that Hajime has easily countered that drill, that Mortar with Tesla. I mean, maybe some of it's just trying to force out Tesla expenditures, but you gotta think at some point that Mo's gonna try to predict that and actually counter that Tesla counter. The Mortar has to go high here to stop the Bomber. And now a big lead for Hajime, 965 to 1394. Minor goes to the back. Tesla now not gonna be in cycle for the Mortar, which might come high here, as Mo has done a ton of damage to get back in at 1078, and now the Mortar with no Tesla. Oh, Tesla back in cycle already. My word. Man, this deck from Hajime cycles quickly. I keep on thinking Tesla's not going to be in cycle. So we'll see. At some point, Mo's going to try to make a move. And either he's planning to win this thing on defense and minor chip, which is going to be really hard to do, or he's going to counter that Tesla and pick up the aggro at some point. Mo's got to be frustrated here. Goes Valk high, and the Electro Spirit spears, and that's Fireball in. Log has to come to the over expenditure that has to come in, and now Mortar on the left-hand side, and Drill comes, and that's a nice drill out of Hajime because he knows it's going to stay up. A lot of pressure now from Mo. Spears to protect here for this Mortar. Log trying to clear the way out. Can the Mortar actually get on tower for Mohamed Light? Drilling on the left-hand side, and the Mortar goes back to the drill. Now Mortar connects, and that is a massive, massive Mortar connection. Does not get a second shot, though, as the Minor goes to the back. Final minute, triple elixir about to start, and just like that, it is Mo in the lead, 354 to 558. Fireball in on the left-hand side. Has to defend well here against this drill. Log comes in to predict, and Fireball trying to get on that Valkyrie, but Log the opposite direction. Minor goes to the back now, Skelly to the front, Fireball in, and Mo Light played a gem of a game in that one. Very, very nicely made for Mo. And Madi with the comment, well, that's why Mo is Mo. And there you go. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. There you go. And yeah, everyone's talking about this one. Wow, Mo is an absolute beast. And there's no question about it. He is just different, as Sem is saying in the chat right now. He's too good. And that really felt like he was in a whole lot of trouble with the Mortar getting caught over and over and over again. When that Mortar got its one shot, though, that was a big momentum changer. That was a huge, huge Mortar connection. If that didn't hit, I don't know if Mo wins that game, right? If that didn't hit, I think that's going to be really, really difficult for Mo to pull that one out. But it does. He protects it. He chose when to protect it. Remember, that Tesla to the Mortar on defense is a 4-for-4 trade. At some point, though, Mo had to find a different way to get damage on tower other than just the miner, and he did that, and that was absolutely huge. And Julesy saying, thanks for the carry, Mo. Yeah, that was a big one. Mo still has not lost a match. Now, we do have game number 2 coming up in a minute, and we'll see if Hajime can make that change. But it really is, dude's just different. Dude is it's just insane. He's playing phenomenally. Having an amazing year here in 2021. And as I've said, it's one of those things where whether Mo's the #1 player of 2021 when we get to the end of this year, right? We still have September, October, November, December. It's all just in his hands. He's the one who gets to decide that at this point. And so far, it's going to be hard for anyone to upend him. I think that if he doesn't have a great September, October, November, and Lucas wins World Finals, then maybe you have an argument for somebody else. Other than that, though, come on. Just another level. So we'll see. Let me go ahead and get you guys the bracket. I don't think that's the correct bracket. Let me get the updated bracket. No, that's not the correct bracket there. Let me get the updated bracket link. The bracket link, if you're watching on YouTube, is in the description, is in the show notes. If you're watching on Twitch, here is the bracket. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2 here. And there we go. It's lava first play for Hajime. Trying to tilt Mo with something he tried to tilt Mo with drill, didn't work. Now going to try to tilt him with lava first play. I don't know if it's going to work. Nice little connection there on the flying machine for Hajime. So we'll see if he's playing poison as well here. And Pranav with an interesting question. Does Mo have a chance of beating out Surge's 2017 record year? I think the answer might be yes. And the reason why is Mo's done so much crazy stuff already this year, and the level of competition is so much higher. Surge was ahead of everybody. I think it's a big part of it. Surge is a great player and a world champion. But Surge in 2017 was also so far ahead of everybody else in terms of understanding the game. Right? So you talk about somebody like a pioneer of the game at the next level. That's Surgical Goblin. Mo is playing in this environment where everyone's learned these crazy lessons, and huge damage, by the way, on the right-hand side for Mo. Mo is dominating at a time when the skill level in Clash Royale is so insanely high, right? So I think that there's a very good chance that you could say that Mo's 2021 is better than has potential to be at the end of the year better than Surge's 2017, but they're so different, right? You know, Busby, aka Hazard, has said it before that there was an interview with Surgical Goblin after one of his events where he mentioned that that's about his success, and he said everyone else spends too much on defense, right? You see all these defenses where no damage gets in, but everyone was spending so much to make that happen, and then it meant that they were low on elixir and counterplays, right? And that's the thing that people understand like crazy now, but at the time it was kind of revolutionary. At the time when competitive Clash Royale was just starting to emerge, it was a new way of thinking, and that was part of his domination at the time. But up against, without question, players who are not as skilled as they are today. Mo's doing this against this level of player. Like people have been saying in the chat, built different. Hajime spamming this bridge though. Forget lava miner, this is lava spam. The pressure he's putting on trying to get back in. Not going to be enough though. And there you go. Easy 2-0 there for Mohamed Light. Game 1 wasn't easy. Game 1 was not easy, but game number 2 locked it down, and that's a clean 2-0 for the Prince of Egypt. Easy. And that was an absolute domination. The Poison Tesla definitely solid play, as is being mentioned. People saying, wow, that was nice. And hey, we're going to, this will not be until Sunday. But Diraj making a good point. On Sunday, we will see Mo versus Anaban. Here we go to Bale with a description of what Mo was doing in game number 1, because this is crazy. You see the kind of the smile on Bale's face, talking about how good this is. And Mohamed is going deuce, 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 deuce. Just killing things. Do I think Mo is as innovative and pioneering as Surge? No, not at all. Not in the least bit. Surgical Goblet isn't just an all-time great and a easy first ballot Clash Royale. Like he's going to be the first class. If there's ever a Clash Royale Hall of Fame, he'll be one of the first inductees for sure. Innovator without question. Mo has just taken what the game is now and plays at another level. You mix that with the analysis that he has going on there. Shout out Julesy. And Mo's doing pretty darn well. So breaking down this matchup between Mo and Hajime, and Mo was so far behind. And this really felt like it was going to be, you see the defenses here, and you see the switch in the defense here going Valk high, and the big thing, the thing that ended up being hard was that Mo had to make an adjustment to control the bomber and not let the bomber get in behind this drill and do a ton of damage. So here comes the fireball in, and you can see, look at the elixir difference right now. That Mo has 5 in the hole, plus a musketeer on the board, and that's why he's able to go ahead and mortar here. That Tesla had to control the Valk. There was no other option. So the Valk high goes across the bridge, forces the Tesla low rather than a counter. The elixir advantage is already there for Mo, and now look at just the aggressive play. Before, Mo was just happy to go with the 4-4 trade with these mortars. This time, and look at, this is a smart play from Hajime to go inside with that to try to control the mortar, but doesn't. And that mortar shot gives him the lead. Goes outside back corner with the miner. It's a couple of shots here. And now it's advantage for Mohamed Light. Fireball is going to put this right within range. Mo has the log and the Electro Spirit in cycle. And Valk's one away, so E-Spirit controls high. Valk comes in very, very low here, but was ready for it with the log to clean up. And that was a smart, just being ready. Just being ready there. And there you go. That's the GG. That's the well played. And that's Mo Light with a big win. Oh, that bracket link is wrong. Oh, good to know. Okay, so that Twitch bracket link is wrong. My bad, guys. It's the correct bracket link on YouTube, I believe, but the wrong one on Twitch. Let me go ahead and get you guys the correct one on Twitch. There you go. Here's the correct bracket link, everybody. And there you have it. So on Sunday, when the winner's bracket returns, we will have Mohamed Light versus Anaban. Of course, not out is Hajime. He'll be facing Bag tomorrow. So the lower or elimination bracket will be tomorrow. We will have 6 matchups. You'll have the 4 matchups that you see there, waiting for, of course, one of our final lower bracket players to be in that spot. We'll have 6 total matchups, potentially 10 total games, or 10 total matches, because of that double play advantage that the players who lost in round 2 of the winner's bracket have. So between 6 and 10 matches tomorrow for a total of 6 matchups. And that will all be the lower bracket, and then we return with the winner's bracket again, and the finale overall on Sunday. All of that will be on Eric Benamu's page on Twitch. Let me go ahead. We're not done with today yet, by any means. We still have one more matchup, I believe. But let me go ahead on Twitch and get Eric's page here. So those of you who are watching right now can go ahead and find Eric's content, Eric's stream, make sure you have it. It will be linked in the CR app for many of you. Or for everybody. It will be in the CR app, but just to make sure you guys have it, if you haven't already, go ahead and follow Eric, who's currently at 34,000 followers on Twitch. So Eric out here doing it on Twitch, that's for sure. So this is where all of that will be taking place on that day. So we go ahead and get there. We do have one more match remaining. Let me go ahead and just double check to make sure I'm saying which one that is correctly. In the chat, we have one more match remaining, which is going to be Ruben versus Edwin. That's our last match of the day, so we'll be seeing that here in just a couple of minutes. Wait, where did that go? Oh, I just deleted it, that's why. And then, 1 second, folks. Prediction for Ruben versus Edwin. Give me one moment here. Comparing the two is comparing apples to oranges, says Mance Raider. It's like MJ and LeBron. Unwinnable debate on either side. That's a good point. Yeah, trying to say who's better. They were dominant in different eras, doing totally different things. So, trying to put those two together is a little difficult, I would say. Let's see. Waiting on our next matchup here in just one moment. Let's look at the chat here for a moment. The only way to defeat Mo is to go off meta. Normal decks can't beat him. Yeah, Mo. I mean, you got to figure out. You got to be unpredictable because the analysis on Mo's side has been brutal. And here's the thing, right? You can win game 1 against Mo, but once Mo and Julesy have that information for games 2 and game 3, it makes it really hard to out game plan them in games 2 and 3 after that. That becomes really, really difficult. So, like I said, good luck there, folks. Good luck there indeed. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. Edwin was on absolute fire the other day. Don't count him out. Yeah, Edwin has a good shot here against Ruben. Let's go in. Edwin versus Ruben. Best of 3. And Edwin was really, really good yesterday. So we'll see what kind of magic he can pull off against Ruben in day 2. Or here in the first day of the finals. I believe Edwin was an open qualifier player in the NA region. So to be here at this stage, pretty great for him. GameSaver is saying, what about my Air Wizard idea? I have no idea what do you mean Air Wizard? Did you give an idea of what it actually is? And that lightning just cleans that out. Ooh, and the bandit from Ruben to keep the pressure on here. That does leave Edwin with about a, let's call it a 3 elixir advantage with the with the Dark Prince on the board. And Royal Ghost will just about counter here, but you see Edwin now continues to keep that advantage. A new card that pushes away. Interesting. That's your Air Wizard, a card that just pushes stuff away. Interesting. Baby Dragon on the right-hand side. The Lightning's an interesting card in this matchup, right? Because Lightning not great against the Baby Dragon and the Dark Prince. Awesome against the E-Wiz and potentially that Bandit if it's in the mix on defense. Here comes the Ram Rider behind the P.E.K.K.A, and that's a lot on the board here. And the Inferno Dragon gets a big burn and a big sizzle. Snowball there to slow, and look at that. P.E.K.K.A now going like crazy, and Ruben calling the good game. GG, and he knew it. P.E.K.K.A Ram EQ versus P.E.K.K.A Ram Lightning. And the really nice little snowball from Ruben. You know, that's one of those things, too. I mean, like, this had a lot of things going for Ruben overall in this matchup. But that snowball on the P.E.K.K.A to slow it down and make sure that his P.E.K.K.A won that fight was really, really solid. All right, and that's one of those next-level plays you talk about with Ruben. Very, very smart player. And, of course, who doesn't want to see Ruben versus Mo Light again? I'm sure Ruben's chomping at the bit to get back against Mo after getting 4-0'd by Mo in the regionals. So we'll see if Ruben wins this in 2 or if Edwin can make it a 3. Lightning out. I mean, most of the same cards out on both sides. Dark Prince out, though, for Edwin, which does open up some more for the drill play. We'll see if that's the direction that Ruben chooses to go. But Lightning out for Ruben, EQ out for Edwin. Which also, so 2 things. Dark Prince out for Edwin and EQ out for Edwin. So now Ruben not really concerned. All of his buildings are fine. Not concerned about Hog Rider at all. RG is going to be RG Lightning if it comes out. Maybe RG Fireball, but probably RG Lightning if it comes out. So EQ being out and Dark Prince being out, both those give a lot of information to Ruben. And again, in my opinion, probably more information for Ruben than for Edwin as far as narrowing down deck selection. Let's see. Where is Lucas? My guess is in Brazil. Let's see. Yash Varden saying, Andrew guys said it perfectly. If Ruben gets going, he can make any deck bridge spam, let alone playing bridge spam deck. Yeah. Yeah, once Ruben's in rhythm, Ruben's very good at, one thing Ruben's really great at is knowing when to push the gas versus push the brake, right? And that's an important skill overall for any pro in Clash Royale, is balancing between gas pedal and brake pedal. And Ruben's very, very good at that. Obviously, his micro is phenomenal, but that gas brake thing is really, really critical, and it's one that Ruben has mastered very well. Stinger Esports saying, Ruben was known as the best graveyard player, but never uses it nowadays. Was Ruben really known as the best graveyard player? I think there's an American who might have an argument against that one. Roz Farian saying, can I use my Amazon Prime for a sub? Yes, you can. You can Twitch Prime sub. If you're on Twitch, you can Prime sub with me. And if you don't want to Prime sub with me, Prime sub with somebody. If you have Amazon Prime and want an Amazon Prime sub, use that with somebody, because that's really cool. It's an easy way, if you already have it, that you can support creators on Twitch. All right. So Ruben going drill wall breakers here. So knows that Dark Prince is out. So Edwin had to go with Valk. And well, this is going to be nasty. The Knight to counter the Valks and poison against Graveyard. And, you know, Ruben's matchup game might be on point right now. Kaboom, kaboom. Ruben's killer with Wall Breakers, killer with Hog Rider, killer with Loon. And notice we haven't seen as much Hog and Loon out of Ruben lately. Maybe realizing he was getting a little bit caught with that. So this is already looking really bad for Edwin. Now, keep in mind... Oh, and then Bomber. Okay. So, arrows counter Bomber, but that's a -1 trade for Edwin. And then Ruben can just poison graveyards. So this feels pretty good for Ruben now. To answer Eden's question, why isn't Sparky used very often? Because there's not that many great Sparky decks. And most of the decks right now that are popular are really, really easily counter Sparky. So Sparky isn't that strong. Most of the Sparky decks aren't very good. And most of the players are good enough with the decks that are currently in the meta to counter Sparky without too much difficulty. Goblin Giant Sparky Rage is like the only deck, and it's not really used much in competitive. It's used sometimes. $1,600 to $1,353. Ruben should control the Valk high here. Decides not to. And the Valk does pull aggro, but the poison doing its job on defense. And Wall Breakers connect. Oh my word. 1282 to 1007. And this time, good read from Ruben not to go Knight on that Valk. And instead going with a full pressure opposite lane here. That's a big send on the opposite lane here. Does have to control this cannon cart, does Ruben. Well defended by Edwin. Tesla high to stop the cannon cart, poison against the graveyard. Poison value starting to come in, though, for Edwin on that left-hand side. And that's going to be enough, I believe, for Edwin to get not quite the lead, but very, very close. Ruben switching lanes here to prevent giving these big counter plays to his opponent. Final 90 seconds. Cannon cart in, and this is a big push here as the cannon cart does pull the aggro. Knight to control. And just like that, the lead now goes to Edwin. I might have had this matchup read wrong. Not impossible. Wall Breakers come in, boom, boom. And just like that, we are very close. 711 to 646. Ruben does cycle more quickly. Puts Bomber in the back on the right-hand side. And Skeleton's here to get in front of a potential graveyard push. And now it's pressure in. Ruben going both lanes. Drill goes to the front on the right-hand side. Wall Breakers picked up by the Goblin Cage. Tesla high to set the line against the graveyard. And a nice set of skeletons here. They are trying to protect the Tesla. They don't do it as well as Ruben had hoped. Log in on the right-hand side, so goes Drill. Valk way, way high here. And arrows have to come out on defense for Edwin. That's what Ruben wants. And now pressure in more and more. Log here against the archers. And that should be enough. Poison on defense to shut that one down. Big push in from Edwin. Can he do enough in time? I don't believe so. And there you go. GG. Well played. Ruben locks it down, puts the opposite lane pressure in, and gets the win. Edwin had a good run overall, not out of the tournament. Now he's going to be back down in that lower bracket. But Ruben, just really phenomenal in both games here in this best-of-3 matchup. Some very, very nice play. And of course, people asking about Ruben's level. Ruben's still top 10 in CRL at the moment. We're still going to see him in World Finals. And Ruben played very, very cleanly there. We'll see what Ruben's like. That's the big question, right? If Ruben beats Bansito and Mo beats Anaban, we'll see them again. We'll see that matchup one more time in the winner's bracket final on Sunday. They got to both go ahead and get those wins there. But you know Ruben wants that revenge against Mo, and definitely got outworked and outmatchupped against Mo in the EMEA regional finals. So my guess here is that no matter what, right now, when Ruben is preparing for Sunday, of course he's preparing decks for Bansito, but he's going to be in the lab with his team figuring out what do you do. They're going to have plans for Mo. They're going to be having a lot of plans for Mo because I really think that he's going to be really wanting to go back and kind of make a statement here. Assuming they do match up, they both have to win their upper bracket semifinals matchups. And now we have the full lower bracket. The elimination bracket is done. So Lauta versus Edwin, Trainer Adnan versus Framsito, Mugi versus KK, maybe a bit of a surprise there, and Bag versus Hajime. So going to be very curious to see how that one plays out. Of course, remember, a lot of those Edwin, Framsito, KK, and Hajime all have the advantage in that matchup, the one-win versus double-win advantage over the players who went out in the first round of the upper bracket. But that will be tomorrow. There will be at least 6 matches. There will be 6 matchups and at least 6 matches tomorrow on Eric's channel. 10 possible matches, depending on how those first matchups go, if the advantage player wins or the disadvantage player wins. So that will be the story for mañana. What a day today. What a great day today. I don't know about you guys, but this tournament in particular has been really, really high level. I've been enjoying the Bren Chong Cup 3 a ton. The action in the North America region was really great. Very high level gameplay there. And here today, you saw Mo doing what Mo does. You saw Ruben playing at high level for Ruben. You saw a lot of really, really fun stuff here. And man, it's gonna be a good one. Again, tomorrow and Sunday, we will not be on my channel. The next 2 days of the World Finals will be on Eric Benamu's channel. The link is in the chat on Twitch. I'm gonna go ahead and link that on YouTube as well. So no matter where you are, you have that link. You can go ahead and make sure you see that for tomorrow. Of course, that will also be hosted inside the Clash Royale app. So if you came here to YouTube from inside the Clash Royale app, first of all, thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed this today. Hope you subscribed. And if you didn't, cool. But if you did, if you want to, make sure you come back because there's a lot of competitive stuff here all the time. This is a great place for it. But no matter where you came from, Eric's channel will be linked in-app tomorrow and Sunday. So it's easy to find, but there's a link for you guys as well. So you can find that on top of it. As far as social media, for me, I see someone asking, maybe, I don't know if Eden's asking for my social media or for Mance Raiders. Maybe he's asking for Mance Raiders. But if you're looking for my social media, look no further than right below you right here, at Rich Slayton on all social media, on Twitch, or on at Rich Slayton on everything. I'm Rich Slayton on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Snapchat. I don't really do Snapchat. TikTok, all the different things. It's at Rich Slayton. So, but I'm most active on Twitter, if that's what you guys are looking for. Man, this has been a pretty good one. There's no command socials. Thanks for a great stream. Thank you very much, Adder. If you're on Twitch, by the way, we're going to wrap up the YouTube stream portion here in just a minute. If you're on Twitch, stay put because we're going to find someone cool to throw a big raid/host to in a couple of moments here. Just looking for the wrap-up stuff from the feed. I think they have one more thing planned before we head out. Who is Ruben's analyst, says Tung Fung. I'm not entirely sure, but he is part of Team Queso, so my guess is part of that Queso squad overall. And yes, by the way, one last thing for you guys. If you are getting ready for that for the new season in just a minute, don't forget that you can always use code RICH in the Supercell shop. So when we do get those new updates, go ahead and grab it. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for watching. That's it for today. If you're on Twitch, hang out. If you're on YouTube, peace out. See you guys next time. And as always, be excellent to each other. And if you're on Twitch, just hang out one more second, because we're going to go